Hello and welcome back, ProBots fans. I'm your producer, Drekken, and we've missed you during our break. A lot has happened since the last time we saw each other. ChatGPT and Bard are writing school essays. Midjourney is making us think that the Pope is dripping in Balenciaga. And now, I'm not saying that we kicked off the robot revolution, but you get to see it firsthand what these AIs can do. We've got an incredible lineup of bots ready to battle it out in StarCraft 2. So fill out your CAPTCHA and take it away, Endersword and Andy Man.
What's up, Endersword? Welcome back.
Welcome. Yeah, those CAPTCHAs never stop me.
Never. That's because you're an advanced AI.
That's it. Except when the thing you're supposed to click on is like in the corner and you're like, do I include it in that square or not?
Welcome, everybody, to ProBots Season 1. I know we're starting things a little bit late here. We usually start things around February, March, but we had a lot going on. Drekken, our lovely show producer there, just got married earlier this year, so go and send him some congratulations. But we are finally here, and we are finally back to watch these AI StarCraft bots battle it out, not just against themselves, but towards the end of the season, even against humans. So make sure you stick around, follow everything. We do have a new website as well. Go to, I'm freezing on the spot.
There. It's in the corner.
ProBotsAI.com. Oh, it is? Yeah. It's on the stream there? Perfect.
It's there. It's below.
Oh, yeah, right there, right below me. Yeah. ProBotsAI.com. That is going to be your new home for everything ProBots related. We're going to post all our new seasons there. We're going to have interviews with bot authors. We're going to be doing more post-bots, our segment after the show here tonight. That'll be tomorrow night, and that will be live as well. So come check it out if you're in the Discord. Join the Discord. Come hang out. We've got multiple Discords, actually. We have our ES Champ Discord, where we just kind of all hang out. But go check out the SC2 AI Discord. Somebody could post a link in the chat for me. I'm sure you've all got access to that. But they're doing a tournament right now, actually. So definitely go check it out. They're about to have their grand finals, and it is going to be awesome. It's got Aerys and Sharkbot going up for the first place match, and then Micro Machine versus Tyr duking it out for third and fourth. So some very strong hitting bots that we're going to see. Maybe not tonight. Who are we? Let's actually go ahead and look at some of the bots here. I am so excited and so ready. Hopefully you are as well. We've got a couple new bots this season. We have some returning bots. Again, some of those names I just said are going to be going here. But tonight, we're going to be seeing last season's champion going up against a brand new bot. We've got Aerys coming back for more, and Aerys always does such a good job. Aerys is just Aerys is the Cyril of the bot world. I think we can easily say.
Yeah,
it's just incredibly strong Zerg. Yeah, here's Group A. So we're doing groups again.
Yeah, I like the group approach as well instead of just the big bracket. And yeah, it kind of gives a second chance a little bit to the newer ones, and kind of I think showcases them more locally within the same little group, and then kind of move on to a bracket from there. But we got this one. We got 3 familiar names and 1 new one, as you mentioned, Ziggster there. But this definitely looks like a tough group. Tyr can go kind of either way. Actually, I'm not sure which bot Tyr has submitted this time, because
I think Tyr is going Terran these days.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is the Terran version.
The Terran one. Yeah.
Is it perfect?
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's been doing some really cool things with Terran. I'm very excited to see that. And actually, again, Tyr versus Micro Machine over at the AI Arena finals coming up in just a few days, I think, is going to be awesome. But yeah, we're gonna have a great group. So we've got 4 groups. And once those are all completed, so for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be doing 4 groups. Here's Group B, actually. A little sneak peek for you. This will be next week. But once those are all done, we're going to have our round of 8 and our prediction brackets once again. So make sure you all get the link to that. Join the Discord if you need it.
Group B's today. Yeah,
we're doing 2 groups today.
Yeah, it's 4 games. 4 games today.
That's right. I'm sorry. I have misled you all. We're doing the first rounds of each group, Group A and B. Here, and then next week will be Group C and D. So pretty much the same kind of process. After week 4, we'll have the round of 8 for week 5, and we'll be doing those prediction brackets. So again, make sure you stick around for that and come do that with us. It's always a lot of fun. And I am so excited to see these bots in action. We're going to be kicking things off real quickly here. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these bot stats real quick. These
yeah.
bots have been busy since we've been gone, Endersword. They've been updating, they've been working hard, they've been training, and I think Aerys is still the one to beat.
Aerys is definitely
incredibly high
still
elo.
monster high elo, monster high win rate. Finished second last season.
Yep.
In it, and yeah, very very low crash and just piercing eyes on that cat. Yeah, it's been a kind of a long-term, fairly dominant bot. Tends to survive through the early game and just really, really launch into a late game powerhouse and kind of using every unit, teching up to everything. And it's really good at kind of stalling people out in the mid game when they try to get offensive and just having it so that they make no progress. So, yeah, just a powerhouse of a bot. And then the opponent, which is the first timer here, is Ziggster. This is coded by Spud, who we're familiar with.
Spud.
Spud. So what's interesting here, and I had never heard of this language. If it's it's coded in Zig. And
is that actually a language?
I guess there's some description for it here that I don't understand. So he basically says the bot's made in Zig with no external libraries at all. So everything from proto buff parsing and WebSocket communication is all written in Zig. So basically it's like from scratch in a completely new language, and he hasn't borrowed from anything else. So I think that's going to be interesting to see.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a language I have never heard of.
Heck of a way to test it out up against last season's champ. One of the hardest bots to beat, Aerys. So this should be an interesting first match, way to kick things off here on ProBots. Did we miss anything, Undersword, before we get rolling? We told them about the new website. We told them about PostBots. Again, make sure you come check that out tomorrow. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, anything else we'll do on the fly, but let's get right into the action here.
Let's do it.
One of the first times we've ever...
Team Aerys's. Team Aerys's.
Aerys.
Spuds.
Ziggster.
Spuds.
So Aerys had begun that by saying the build order hatch pool hatch gas. So does that mean 3 hatcheries before gas? That's the way that reads anyway.
Yeah. I would imagine.
So let's see. Pretty aggressive opening. And then
that's typically how Aerys opens.
Yeah,
right?
Aerys does tend to open pretty aggressive here and going out and scouting. And
it's just so hard to put early pressure on Aerys. Kind of like you were just saying a little bit ago. Aerys is really good at stalling and just buying time, and can get up to those 3 bases so easily that where do you find an opening in that time?
And I think Aerys has also baited a lot of people into thinking that there must be a way to find an opening there, and then it doesn't. It doesn't work out. I think it's good at detecting when there is danger coming and then kind of switching to it, because as much as it likes to drone, since it's got the 3 hatcheries, it's then got a lot of larvae to be able to switch if it has to. But we'll see.
Right.
We have no idea what Ziggster's strategy usually is, so we got a barracks and a factory here.
Well, that's kind of a lie. I have some insider information here in the notes. At the moment, Ziggster does 1 base push, which hopefully will kill some opponents.
There you go.
So that's just that comes with building a bot from a brand new language. When you have to build everything from scratch, you got to start back at square one. Build marine, attack. Then slowly start adding things onto that, factories, starports, that kind of thing. So, we'll see. Well, he's already got a factory coming down, about to finish, actually. So there's a little bit more depth to Ziggster than I might be giving him credit for.
It is true. It is pretty sexy. A lot of people in chat are saying that Ziggster does have some Riz. So,
ooh, all right.
let's see if he's got W Riz or L Riz.
It makes me feel young being able to use the lingo that.
That's it. I'm just trying to make it so that if we ever wanted to move to kick, we could.
And there's that third base. So it does look like hatch, pool, hatch, whatever it was doing was the build of choice. So yeah, really strong economy is going to make Aerys really, really untouchable in the later game, especially if this one base persists. So the one base has a timeline that it has to hit it. After a certain point, it's just not going to do it.
Yeah, that's often the case. You have to hit a really strong thing with like a clear goal of what you need to accomplish with the one base. And then another thing with the one base, and we see this a lot, especially with some new bots or anyone that pursues it as a strategy, you have to have some point that you roll out of it or continue. So like the one base timing is good, but we've seen a lot of one base timings like almost kill someone, and then there's no like follow up to it, and then it just kind of stalls out. Where if it had any like second gear, then it would have been much better.
Yeah, and then the other bot is given time then to come back and catch back up. Yeah, we've seen that a couple times. Aerys usually does.
We're getting a Liberator, so this may be like moving out with like a Liberator and 2 tanks, and yeah, it looks like that's about the timing. Is he so sieging? Sieging just to get the one.
Goodbye, Zergling.
The one lane.
All forces attack that one Zergling. No, this is actually a really nice looking little push out of Ziggster. A couple tanks, nice handful of Marines for support. More going to be rallying across, and with those Liberators, if a Liberator can get into it... Wait, what's going on? Oh, one more Zergling kind of stalls things out here. Uh-oh.
That's often something we'll see with, again, newer bots that haven't been fully, like, coded.
Ziggster's still pushing.
Chat. He is still pushing, but, like, you see that happen, that they can be delayed completely by a single unit.
Okay, let's see. I don't think... it doesn't look like scans have been coded in, so this is just going to be a fight on creep. Oh, wait, how do you get that? Oh, that must have been a new tuner. Okay, here we go. Roaches are coming in. We do have Burrow done, so we might see some Roach Burrow. That would be awesome.
Liberator's in a pretty good position, but he does, So with the live Roaches, though, it means he is going to land some shell shots on the burrowed ones.
Oh, that's true. Do a little splash. Oh, no, these Roaches are healing up so nicely, though. Only a couple actually went down. And that Burrow, oh, it's so strong. Gets right up on the tanks and burrows again. So these tanks are just in really dangerous turf right here with no scans, no Raven coming across. These Roaches are going to have a really nice time.
Yeah, especially, with them burrowed right there. Every time they do pop up, he's going to shoot his own tanks. And
he's splashing his own stuff. Oh, that's
pretty
rough.
Close to that. Yeah.
Well, the Liberators have remained pretty much untouched, and I think there's only a couple of Queens out, so they're the real threat still.
The Queens they're scared of the tanks, but they could backstab the Liberators if given half.
Oh yeah, the Liberators are just like, here you go.
They keep firing. Yeah, they keep firing like backwards.
Like the bird mating dance, wiggle the butt right at the Queen there.
Yeah. But this is this is less Aerys's doing.
That was a nasty bile.
Yeah, but it's more that you're stalling this out again.
Yeah.
Where it's not making forward progress, and so 3 bases off this one base push is eventually just going to overwhelm it. And
while it looks like Ziggster has some traction and is making a little bit of ground, look at the supply for Aerys right now.
Yes,
over 100. The army supply is now starting to really surpass Ziggster's, and as soon as there's critical mass here, Aerys can just crush this tiny little force that's sitting in the middle of creep, no support. That's rough. But it's a strong push again out of Ziggster. A really nice composition. I love the dedication to continuing the attack, there wasn't that, one thing hit my base, now I've got to pull my whole army back home completely and then push back out of it or something like that. Ziggster kept pushing out, kept pushing across. Oh, is that reinforcement line getting hit? Oh, it is.
Yeah, it looks like he's been, the counter swarm is picking everything off, and
that means his army is isolated.
Not only is he not going to get reinforcements on the ground, but I think when the Liberators come out, they're then going to stop and siege to try and target every lane.
Yep.
And never really make it across. Because
maybe not.
One might make it here now. Because
he didn't seem to care.
We haven't seen another Liberator come by in a while, and yeah.
Maybe after that initial
up.
push goes out, the Liberators are just on rally mode.
Yeah.
They just come over. That is pretty big having the Liberator here.
Yeah.
If it would face the right direction.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's a
there
good one.
Go.
That's the best position it's been in yet, but it unsieges.
See here. Oh, those are all drones burrowed, huh? Yeah, Aerys is just so hard to break through, and now there's 10 mutas about to pop out. A really nice choice for Aerys to switch over to mutalisks. Because while there are Marines here, they don't have medevacs. They don't have any
there
support.
come a bunch of mutas.
You get on top of these with lings. Yeah,
the mutas are going to go.
Oh, they're just going to go for the backstab, I guess.
They could just shut down all the production. There's no real defense back at home, so that's a good decision.
How many lings have died?
It's probably
I feel like the lings are having a little bit of trouble in dealing with this. Randoms Terran army in the middle of their rally points.
They are, but that's fine, I guess. Like they're keeping it from getting out of hand. The Marines are starting to get a little out of hand, but they keep resetting the tank numbers, the Liberator numbers, and now of course they're in the base.
Well, yeah, now there's just going to be no more reinforcements.
Yeah, so this will be it. But
this is going to be the final.
But yeah, the Marines were kind of the main fighting force here, but they just need more support, and they're not going to get it.
I got to say that army supply is dangerously close for Aerys. For what the economy is and what stage of the game Aerys is at right now.
Aerys also does this though, where Aerys will not make stuff until it's at the point, until it absolutely has to, and it just hit 84 drones. So now she's gonna switch into the military.
I see.
Like that's usually like Aerys loves to max out the drones, and then you get a big switch into like Hydras and stuff. But I mean, the mutas again are gonna win anyway, so it doesn't.
That's exactly what you're looking for, though, right? As a human, when you're playing StarCraft, you want to get away with being as greedy as possible with your economy, and just barely having enough units to defend, a one-base push or proxy or some kind of cheese. You want just enough, and then really pump the rest into economy. So then, when your economy is settled, you can do what Aerys is about to do and annihilate Ziggster.
That's really always the evolution. Build orders is somebody will find a timing, and then people will learn to defend the timing, and then they learn to defend that timing more and more efficiently to be as greedy as possible while still living. That's usually how things develop. That the defense ends up getting better than the attack.
Well, it should be any moment now. Well, actually, we might get the all buildings.
Just the buildings destroyed. It'll take a little time, but it is kind of funny how Aerys is making essentially very good decisions here. Of like,
it's safe.
This army is here, but it is of no concern.
Yeah, it's where it's at. It's not threatening anything.
Yeah, and
you're getting some rallies, but whatever.
Yeah, it can't really move into where it wants to go. But there's no point in tilting at it. Like you can just kill the base.
This is the most perfectly safe play I think I've ever seen, even out of Aerys. Like it was just perfect. Yeah. Why attack in here when you don't have to? Yeah. Well, they're going to need an evac ship soon because there's going to be no more Terran buildings on this planet very momentarily. And you boys are going to get stranded. So
I kind of wonder, too, what is making Ziggster not try and move. And I think it's whether it's just the individual units that are coming in, but that doesn't seem like enough. Like, it seems like it almost didn't have a target. Because right now it's not being attacked, but, like, it's not doing anything.
It's the tanks, I think, just really have Aerys on.
Yeah.
Wait till they move into me mode. Wait till they attack into my bases.
Yeah, and I get that from Aerys' point of view, but why is Ziggster just sitting there? Because I think one thing, and it's very hard to code for Terran, and we see it all the time, like the tank siege dance, his at least aren't doing that, but the Liberators were, is since most other things operate based on where units are, but tanks and Liberators should be based on map control or like controlling space. And so the fact that the Liberators and stuff would readjust all the time based on where the units were, at one point it perfectly covered the natural exit, right? And that's exactly where you wanted it, and they should have They should have
but
never
then they
moved.
unsieged instantly. Yeah.
So, but it's hard to do that because your army mostly is moving based on where are the threats, whereas your siege stuff should be where's the space that I want, and the space is harder. It's harder to do the map analysis and everything. But yeah, good game one there.
Well, I do. The Ziggster was definitely between a rock and a hard place. With not moving forward, it was, waiting for reinforcements because it could obviously see, oh, I don't have enough to push in necessarily, or there's too many roaches, too many whatever here. So it was waiting for that bigger number, that bigger, I have more than my enemy. But it couldn't do that until, but then the reinforcements all got picked off and Mutalisks did their work. Yeah, that was a really nice Muta backstab. That really sealed the deal for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was a good way to start things off. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to ProBots Season 1. Go check out our new and improved website. It takes you to our other website. It's ProBotsAI.com. Make sure you go check that out. We're doing groups A and B today, so we're going to be seeing a lot of really good bots. We're seeing Aerys and Ziggster right now. We've got Benbot and Tier coming up next. After the break, we're going to have Ketro and Dominion Dog, followed by Zena and Sharpened Edge. So a very good night of games tonight. Thank you for joining us. You chose a great time to tune in. And make sure you go check out AIarena.net as well. Their grand finals again coming up very, very soon, just a couple of days. And Endersword, that is going to be an awesome finals. I'm going to be there watching. It's going to be Aerys versus Sharkbot. Sharkbot looking really good these days. So we'll see what happens, but let's go ahead and finish watching Aerys versus Ziggster and see if Ziggster can turn things around or if Aerys...
The second the game started, it was a blur.
Team Aerys's.
Aerys.
Spuds.
Ziggster. Okay, we're doing this.
Yep.
We are here on Infestation Station, so we actually haven't talked about the maps really yet. We are using a bit of a new map pool. I had it. Where did I have that listed? Oh, jeez. Thought I had everything ready. But yeah, this is one of our new maps that we've got here, Infestation Station.
It is very
obviously we're not on the most recent patch of StarCraft. We're on like a couple versions prior or something. You all in chat know better than me. I'm sure someone there can tell you. But yeah, we're basically working on a little bit older version, our own custom AI version maps.
Yes, they're always AI edition.
AI edition, yeah. They're done by Scarlet, does a lot of the work for it. Cryptius over at AIarena.net does a lot of getting them to work. Laddie does a lot of work here, our production guy. So big shout out to everybody involved making these maps and everything work for these bots. I actually just created a fun little map that the bots might start using for beginner bots. So if you're a new bot author and you want to start programming, but this all looks a little daunting, it's a lot to account for. You've got to make your main base. You got to then follow this tech tree and build up and do all this and that. And then chances are your opponent's just going to beat you because they've been building the bot longer than you anyway. Well, I made a little micro map that we're going to start testing. So if you just want to tell a couple units, like some Marines and a siege tank, attack that direction, do a little micro, try to win against, another small army, then this is the map for you. And definitely go check out the Discord over at AIarena.net. We're going to hopefully get that up and running soon. And new bot authors will be able to start learning how to code on a little bit easier scenario is kind of the idea behind that. Anyway, I got on a tangent there. What was the point? What were we talking
about? Maps and stuff.
Maps.
Yeah.
This is a good map. I like this map.
It is.
It is very infested.
It looks gunky. Yeah.
Very gunky. So does that mean this is Zerg favored?
I would imagine. Is it like pre-creeped? Yeah.
No,
because that's what it looks
in spirit,
like.
not in it.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to have maps that are Zerg favored, Terran favored. Obviously, everyone would cry, it's imbalanced. They have this favor.
That's it. People now are crying that the maps are Terran favored.
Yeah, people always cry about
And
that.
the
So
line's full.
that's why I don't care anymore if it is or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Especially with these bots, I feel like that, you know, it works better for this or that. Doesn't really affect these bots quite as much because they're just on a different playing field.
They're not doing strategies the same way that like humans are adapting to each map. Although we certainly have seen that like maps make a difference, but it's more on the fundamental level that we've seen. If the natural is up a ramp at the entrance, that makes a big difference. If the ramp is farther away from the entrance, such that going up it doesn't like
the different reasons
are
there.
exactly. And same with whatever the paths are. If there's a unified path down the middle, that makes a difference than if there are two split paths around the edge. So things like that can affect these bots a lot. But,
well, and there's different ways to go about how you read the map now as a bot, right? We just had last season. Oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank on the name. So sorry, but we had a really good author joined us and talked about a map tool he was making. He's a YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Help me out, find it. What is it? Gookie? Was that it?
Yeah.
Gookie.
So. Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, go check it out. Yeah, he's got a map analyzer tool that basically looks at each. If you didn't know, the map is built up of little squares, little tiles, and it basically analyzes each tile and determines is it, walkable. Can I do this? Can I do that with it? And then from there, he can set up, positioning for buildings, that kind of thing. But some bots just hard-coded, right? Where they're just, they look at each map individually. Okay, on this map, put this here. On this map, put this here. And that's a totally viable way of doing this as well. You just have to update it, when the map changes or something like that. So a little updates, nothing too crazy. Okay, here we go. Let's. We've got the same scenario, which I imagined we would, as Ziggster currently just has the one build under its belt, but it's already looking a little bit better. I like the siege up area right here. Yeah. I think there's going to be less liberators facing backwards.
Maybe we'll see when the barrel happens or something. But yeah, this is a good spot, obviously right there. But he unsieges one.
These tanks are in such a good spot too. They're getting massive damage right now. Oh, the liberators both go down. Okay, so it's just up to the tanks and the marines now. We will have some reinforcements though. It doesn't look like Aerys has done anything to maneuver around to the rally point just yet. We might see some Zerglings go down and try to cut off reinforcements.
I mean, one big difference here is scans.
Oh. I didn't even register that. So why were there no scans last game, but this one?
I don't know, but it's obviously
is
way more.
Is Ziggster learning?
Yeah, maybe evolving.
Is Ziggster evolving as we go?
Yeah, he's in a lot of better positions.
Maybe it just didn't have scans because it was using it on mules. I think it might just be a timing issue, where when it wants the scan, it's like, oh, too bad you just used a mule. But this time it was, oh, you want to scan? I don't want the mule just yet. Sure, you can scan. It's just a timing issue. Man, that got cleaned up while I was blinking.
It certainly did a lot better. Like, I think it fought a lot more effectively, but
better.
Aerys had a lot more there,
yeah.
And the army joined and kind of surrounded a little more with everything. Also, it helped. He did take the liberators out much quicker. But yeah, this is relatively even mineral-wise. But yeah, the gas much in Aerys' favor. So, but yeah, 28 lings dead, only 4 roaches built, some of them converted to ravagers. It looks like none of those died.
Yeah.
And then 5 queens, was it? So, like, pretty reasonable push, but not
quite what it needs to be to beat Aerys.
Yeah, and again,
like the
liberators are just out of position. Like, they weren't terrible, but like, liberators need to be, they can't be the front line, and that's kind of where they were.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. The Mutas start engaging, do a little bit of damage, but they're going to go counterattack, which I think is the right decision.
Yeah.
Again, just go start doing damage, cut off the reinforcements. Here you go. Free Liberator. And Aerys is just going to be in a really dominating spot. Ziggster actually might go home and deal with this.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to.
Wants to. He wants it. He wants those Mutas. Now, if the Liberator could get a few juicy shots with the Marines here, that could clean this up and give Ziggster maybe another potential to try one more little push.
Yeah,
but
see if he can bait them over. The Muta count here is already much bigger than it was last game.
Oh, yeah, it's way bigger.
So,
losing gas on one base is so much more important than losing gas when how many? Aerys has 6 bases right now.
yes.
So yeah, for Ziggster, that 800 gas with that initial push, that was worth so much more than Aerys could have, or than Ziggster could have hoped for.
I think
it was just
there. People were talking with the changelings in chat there. It's clear that the Liberators are sieged up to kill the changelings, and but they're not killing them.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's interesting because the changeling isn't an enemy technically, right?
Yeah, it's like a
you have
non-combatant.
to manually target it to kill it if it's in changeling mode, or if you have detection, it'll go.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that these are currently
lobby
like
mode.
attack moving. Well, I know they are because you can see the right clicks. So they're currently attack moving, but that doesn't do anything.
It wants it. It recognizes that it's not its own unit, or that it's even Aerys's unit, but it's not hostile, so it's not attacking.
It's attack moving. You can see
That's
it's spamming attack.
hilarious.
But it doesn't. It doesn't know to click on them. And then same with the Liberators. Usually you just siege them up in the auto fire. Same with the tanks, but they're not because they're not.
So that explains in the last game, I think, why Ziggster wasn't pushing forward as much either, because there were constantly changelings in that army. Good call, good catch, people. Good catch. Wow. Yeah, Zigster's just kind of been frozen in place here while Aerys ransacks the main. Yeah, let's go ahead and fast forward. This is going to be done here. Aerys will take the 2-0, but a nice showing from Ziggster.
Yeah, it was a better push
great
this
start.
time. Yeah.
Oh, look at this
They're
choke
just
point,
wandering-
too.
Yeah, wandering into the kill zone.
Fast forwarded at the wrong time there. That's my bad. Yeah, this is still over, but Aerys just is so strong. Ziggster definitely has some potential to make some moves, though.
Yeah.
Even just with this build alone, just a couple little tweaks, don't go after or kill changelings instead of just following them or whatever.
Or ignore them. Either
just ignore them completely.
But you can't fixate on them and not kill them.
And
It
not
has to
kill
be
them.
one or the other.
So do that, and yeah, just a little bit of mostly that, just a little bit of Liberator control. I liked the Marine tank movements. I thought they kept getting into really nice positionings. The Marines did a good job buffering for the tanks. So yeah, just a few Liberator tweaks, and that push gets a lot deadlier.
Yeah.
So, hey, nice stuff though. Aerys again, #1 bot on the AI Arena ladder.
Yeah.
So it's gonna not be easy to beat.
Yeah, it's always
especially as a new bot.
our debut of any new bot is always brutal because of course they're against like
It was against the last season's champ, yeah.
Yeah, they're against top seed.
I don't know why we do that.
So, well, I mean,
we like the carnage.
It is the fair, it's the correct and fair way
seeding,
to seed things, but that's what you see, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, it's fun. Start the show off with feeding the lions some orphans or something.
Yeah,
it's just more fun to watch that way, and then have the gladiators come out and fight. Okay, we're gonna get another series rolling here. Thank you all for joining us once again. Great start, Aerys versus Ziggster. We've got Benbot versus Tyr coming up next. Now, you may all be familiar with Tyr as Protoss. This season, we're going to be seeing Tyr as Terran. So
we've seen Tyr Protoss random. So we've seen some Terran. Was he ever dedicated? I think he was last season dedicated Terran as well.
I think he did random last season, didn't he?
He did random for at least a season.
Or was that the season before? I think that was last season.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. But we've definitely seen him play.
We've been here for too many seasons under Sword. They're all blurring
together.
It does. It really does. But yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these stats here. Now, both bots are very, very strong. Benbot didn't beat Micro Machine in the series, but he took 2 games off of Micro Machine, which, Micro Machine is, again, one of the top bots of all time. Still one of the hardest to beat. So Benbot's looking really strong these days from what I can see.
Yeah, he's always been built on this very defensive, just stay alive constantly sort of frame. And then
Benbot's the one that does the little bunker rush too, right?
That got worked in. He also does the bunker magnet of death.
Was that Dominion Dub?
No,
that's Benbot. Yeah,
Benbot does that. Yeah, Benbot does that. But he also built the 2 random bunkers with a bunch of Widow mines and turrets in like a random location
Yeah.
at home,
That's
and that
right.
just seems to draw everyone to it. And he's also one of those bots that kind of like retreats everything back and repairs it. They're
Mhm.
like Vikings and BCs. So usually when Benbot wins, it's often from it's losing, and then suddenly you realize there's like 13 BCs still alive, and
Yeah.
they're just there now, and they overwhelm. So yeah.
No, Benbot has great army control. I think that's a big part of that. All right, and here's Tyr coming back this season as a Terran.
Yes, indeed.
What is that? Is that from a video game? What is that picture?
I forget
from?
what that's from. Someone said Magic the
Magic.
Gathering.
There you go.
Okay. So
Yeah, it
think
looks like a
that's-
Magic card.
I keep seeing ads for the Magic card, the Lord of the Rings stuff. I've never played.
Yeah.
I've never played Magic in my life, but the advertising has almost convinced me like you need to buy these. Like
That's how they
I'm
get
like
you.
I know I don't, but they seem cool.
I'm excited
yeah.
to see what Tyr has in season for us. A lot of new things, I would imagine. Just again, switching races opens up a lot of possibilities of ways to approach the game. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Tyr's got. All right, are we just about ready here? Yeah, they're going to cut me off if I don't start it. So let's go ahead and get into our next series, Tyr versus Benbot. Let's go.
Glossiers.
Benbot BC.
Tyr and Gertians.
Tyr.
Tyr and Gertians.
Tyr. Double intro. All right, here we go on Royal Blood. I believe another new map. I don't remember seeing this one last season.
Yeah, indeed. You see all the treasure in the middle.
That is a lot of treasure.
Just cool.
What are you even going to do? Is that treasure even worth anything? All anybody cares about in this universe is minerals and gas.
It's weird, and
those are the only real.
They've also got
value.
like goblets the size of SCVs and like whatever. That's got to be something. A
Maybe it's
diamond
like a
that
giant's-
big, you must be able to use
giant's-
it. But more game wise, he spotted this immediately.
Oh yeah.
So literally the second it went up at SCV for Tyr was coming by, so he's aware that this is existing. And we were talking about this in the preview here that Benbot does do a bunker rush. It's not usually intended to win the game. It's just intended to stall out because, of course, Benbot is trying to get up to. He started out his career, I guess, trying to get up to battleships as fast as possible. And then there's weak points, obviously, when you're trying to do that. So he started to incorporate more of these intermediate steps to provide cover for getting up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we always used to see the real early battle cruisers teleporting behind the mineral line, and it worked sometimes, but it didn't work if there wasn't enough airspace to retreat. So it was a very risky thing to rush quickly.
So he started adding this in, I think, as purely as a stall. But then it started. This has single-handedly won games a number of times. That and
if
it's
you don't
obviously
know what he's doing, it can just shut your bot down completely because you're like, oh crap, he's rushing me. No, he's not. He's got one marine in a bunker.
Yeah, exactly. And it's clear that that's what Tyr thinks is Tyr's building a bunker on the high ground.
A couple now.
It was clear that he probably was planning to do something else because he's got two depots right there that obviously are intended to have a building between them, but he made the bunker instead. So Tyr is already clearly off whatever his original plan was.
You see that animation, the death? How many times do you have to get shot to explode like that?
A few.
How long did those Marines shoot that poor guy?
I think it's going to be more than 9 because 50 Cent has not yet exploded.
Yeah. All right, nice little wall off here, but Tyr is totally safe sitting up here. But like we said, Benbot's not looking to press the issue. This is just to stall the natural and buy time. Actually, Tyr is not going to put up with this.
Yeah, this is the good response, a correct response.
You can't get that SCV though. That's all right. It's only one.
It's fine. He's beating it. Yeah, just the one.
It'll knock it down. It'll knock it down. Oh, careful, Marine. Yeah, that was not the best choice, Marine. Don't walk into the tank fire. All right, Benbot has a... I guess he's got a bit of an advantage because he'll have that. He's got the command center done. That much sooner. But at the moment, things are actually pretty even.
Yeah, Tier's starting it now. It'll depend a little if Tier decides to like attack right now. He's got a window where obviously he could go and do some damage. He knows, again, how as much as a bot knows, but you would know that there's a Rax out there that is now useless for a little while. It's floating home. You could either go and try and track it down.
Yeah, that's where I think this time it almost, like, it wasn't not worth it. It didn't hurt Benbot necessarily, but it didn't slow Tier down really at all.
Not a lot. It's possible. I don't know what Tier's original plan was. Whether he intended to make the command center sooner. He had, I think, intended to do something different at the ramp. And then that was disrupted, so I don't know. It's hard to tell what he was going to do before that.
All right,
he still wants to put a bunker at the gateway to this, so he's clearly planning for a later game.
But yeah, he's got that second command center just finished, so now he's going to float it over. Yeah, I'd say things are pretty even here for the moment. It's going to come down to maybe a weird 2-base timing or something. Yeah, it's always interesting to theorize what Tier's going to do. As Protoss, we could never keep up with Tier's strategies, so I'm sure as Terran we're going to have just as much difficulty. But that's what gives Tier an edge a lot of the time, is that unpredictability. That will he fall prey to my traps? Will my attacks be successful? Will he attack me in some gimmicky way or play a defensive, solid macro game? Because Tier, at least as Protoss, Tier could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, you'd see anything from a worker rush to like a Tempest, like overwhelm to like whatever. Interesting here. Tier's going for a Raven. Benbot is getting the high sec auto tracking and kind of turtling up on that second base, but he is getting a third command center already as well. Tier moving out to also get his own in place. Worker count, definitely because of that delay, is a little bit in Benbot's favor. I think that's going to even out as these thirds come up, because Benbot's going to have to float his. Tiers will be about the same time.
Yep.
Benbot does scout that, but Benbot really doesn't have any army that he would move out with anytime soon, but he has started now the battleship.
All right, yeah, those battle cruisers are kind of that's like the start of the aggression. Because again, he should teleport him behind the mineral line and then start trying to, I think, poke with his army a little bit. So something to keep in mind. A couple weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, Tier actually beat Ketro 3-1 in the AI Arena tournament. So I think these versions are similar to the versions that were being used about that time, because these were submitted, a couple weeks ago, I think, these bots. So Ketro's incredibly hard to beat as well, especially as in TVT.
Very stable. Yeah,
I think Ketro has a really solid TVT. So the fact that Tier was able to 3-1 him bodes really, really well, I think, in this series. But again, Benbot still incredibly strong, able to take games off Micro Machine and other really good Terrans. Even took a game off of Aerys.
So how well is he going to siege up here is going to be very telling.
Here we go. This is it.
Battleship.
Nice.
Or battle cruiser being taken care of. Yeah.
Great start. Benbot's like, oh, I got this. I got a battle cruiser. Nope. But actually, so that looks really good right now. But in about 10 seconds when that wears off, Tier doesn't have any anti-air but like a few wounded Marines.
Yeah.
So there might be one more Matrix here.
Maybe not. Well, he's got two. Yeah, he's got two Ravens, so that's okay. He's taken down the front bunker. But you're right. He doesn't have a lot of, like, there's just no bio with it. He's got basically more tanks than Marines.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs something. But if he's just kind of picking off individual units, he's okay here. He doesn't really have to move in. He's got an economy behind this. He's going up to 4 bases. But there is often a case where eventually Benbot kind of takes a lead just because the battle cruisers never die and they do this stuff.
Hey, that was really nice. Tyr did a full retreat, but left the Marines to buy time so the tanks could get out of there. That was really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Benbot pushes that back. Just no anti-air to defend that. So really good timing with the battle cruisers. Tyr was, able to get a little bit of poking done and test the waters and didn't lose that much. So that wasn't a bad push at him.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was beneficial. He killed kind of the front defenses. Isn't super, costly to either side, but the fact that he kind of sat there, I think it does delay then the expansion. Benbot just finishing the 4th CC now, but it will then have to float down. And in the meantime, Tyr is now up and running with his 4th right now. And you can see still about 6 workers behind, but it doesn't really matter that much at this point. They're both about to max out in how many work SCVs they actually want. Tyr is also a step ahead on the bio upgrades, whereas Benbot went for the mech side of it. But yeah, pretty good. We've got a lone Hellion coming on in.
Blue flame Hellion.
Yeah, blue indeed.
Look at that flame go.
I don't know if
Did he? I don't know.
Oh,
he got one.
You got one, yeah.
He got one.
Yeah.
That's all right. Again, just testing the waters, not looking to commit. It was one Hellion.
I like the use of the sensor towers here too. We don't see enough bots do that.
Look at that.
And just look at like really good coverage, just right across.
That's
everything.
phenomenal. Well, and especially as a bot does not miss things visually. Like if it's on the mini map, the bot will know it's there. If it's if it's burrowed and moving or whatever, the bot knows it's there. If it's cloaked, the bot knows it's there. So things like that, sensor tower where you just have that much more vision. Tyr's just going to know so much in advance that an army's coming. Whereas opposed to
go right back to that, the battle cruiser is about to warp into a zone of death.
Tyr's Raven got also anti-Ravened got Matrix to there.
It did.
That was nice. But, so wait, where's this battle cruiser?
Well, it's gone.
Oh, is it dead? It just died.
It warped. It tried to teleport on to the 5th base and just got instant. The moment it came. Well, it wasn't on screen.
No, that'll do it. That's going to be why. All right, another teleport out of there. Benbot is feeling the pressure all of a sudden. It felt really nice for a little bit. Benbot was just kind of swatting back these attacks. And now all of a sudden there's a lot of tanks, those tanks that did not get killed earlier by the battlecruiser, and a couple of massive powerhouse Thors here that are just
just gonna overpower this down.
Oh yeah, this is the Vikings got to get the heck out of there. 2 go down. One more battlecruiser is going to come in, but that's a lot of anti-air. Yeah, here we go. Round 2 for Tyr was the anti-air wave, and it just pummeling through right now.
And I do kind of want to see him back up here now.
Save some of these units for wave 3.
If you just get everything here out, that's a massive victory. Yeah, he's going to lose it all. He's used the Thors in a very good way. Thors and battle cruisers oddly serve a similar purpose, which is they're an anchor to your army. They give you like stability to like standing where you are or flying.
They can take some hits. They can hold your ground. They can push things back a little bit. Yeah.
So they're kind of something to rally around. And so it would have been nice to keep them alive, but he's got 2 more, and then 3 more, and a bunch of
Thors are king.
Yeah, a bunch of Marines here. He doesn't have the upgrades yet to really keep the battle cruisers alive, but he's going towards that.
So while I do think Tyr is definitely on top after that, came out on top after that engagement. But Benbot did trade pretty evenly, all things considered. At least as far as the army's concerned.
Base going down is big.
Tyr definitely lost a lot of units as well, and a lot of the momentum. Yeah, if you look at the resources lost, it's
minerals on one
roughly
side,
similar
gas
if you count the gas. Yeah.
So
kind of even if you think about it.
But I think objective-wise, even though you look at the SCV count and it doesn't matter, but he lost 33 SCVs in that too. But he's already back up to 85.
Oh, 33 SCVs don't matter. How many dead SCVs do matter to you, Endersword?
Just if they're nothing but mineral collectors.
Nothing.
They don't have a rich internal life. No.
You'd be a bad foreman at an SCB work site.
Probably.
All right, here we go. Tears coming in for another attack. Gets himself in between the natural and third base here. And yeah, with those Thors and tanks, again, those powerhouses, those anchors, this is going to be a really hard position for Benbot to break through. And I definitely think this planetary is going to go down, even with the repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, there's a point once you get the focus fire all on it, and
With
like
the
the other
Marines
stuff
and-
was
yeah.
then it's just too much damage to repair. He was also losing SCVs as they were trying to repair it. Center
Those
goes down here
cyclones.
again. He's
So much damage.
yeah.
He's what?
He's keeping his distance really well too. Like there's a lot of stuff here, like the widow mines and tanks that you can just walk into and shred yourself. And he was killing things at a distance, and it's not until now that he's trying to like collapse onto that he's getting kind of meat grinder.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah, like
I was just gonna say the Vikings were playing so safe until they decided to fly over the turrets.
yeah. So I think he'll cancel this attack and go back and rebuild. But
Yeah,
again,
okay, now-
our army
now.
supply is still about even, and now we've got tier with pretty significant SCV.
Well, and again, if you've got the economy for it, you can play like this. You can just throw wave after wave at your opponent, and as long as you're stifling their economy more than they're stifling yours, you're going to eventually win. And Tears knocked out 2 bases with these attacks in total. Meanwhile, has the entire north side of the map just completely taken, and is Tears. So money is not a problem. Reinforcements are not a problem. Tears going to be able to keep trading for a while.
The cyclone switch here is pretty
That's
interesting
nice.
too. It's really
It's
nice,
doing
yeah. Because even just taking out the 1 BC. Because the real thing that you need to do against Benbot is just do not let the BCs spiral.
Yeah, don't let him
Because
clump
they
up.
just kind of stay alive, but he's gotten enough now and then. And Benbot usually hits a point that he's making like 3 at a time. He's not even making 1 at this point because he can't afford it.
Yeah, he's lost so many bases. Yeah, he's just got no economy for it. Oh, Cyclones are a great addition, especially against Terran going, battle cruisers or Thors or things like that. When they lock on, they do so much damage. What is going on there?
He's failing
Not
to
repair. Oh, is it because maybe ran out of money or something?
Yeah, maybe. Or
no,
lost.
no, I
or-
think it's still spamming it. I think it's
or
just
lost
spamming.
whatever the tag. Yeah, because it's still saying
Maybe the battle cruiser died or something.
that's possible.
Yeah, I think the one he was trying to repair died, and it still has like the repair order or something, and it didn't get that this thing is dead.
It's fading now, so it may have been. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that spammed it for a
Yeah,
while
that's
though. Anyway, Tyr coming in with a couple of Vikings, a little bit sloppy on these attacks. He's playing a little bit like a Zerg, just throwing wave after wave at him. But again, if
He's
you can
maxed.
afford it, it
Yeah.
works. It's a way of playing.
He's maxed out down too.
Maxed.
He's been
Just go.
continuing with the bio upgrades too, which
Yeah.
is just really powerful.
Oh yeah, I haven't been watching those. Look at that, 3-3, even good mech upgrades. Only 1-1 on Benbot's bio.
Yeah.
And that does add up, especially when you get into this later game scenario. So, Tyr's going to be taking game number 1 very nicely here. A really good little back and forth for a bit. I like this style though. I like this more aggressive play style where you're just attacking. You're just going for it. You're doing damage. If you know you're going to do damage, do it. Lose some units. That's fine. I think a lot of bots, maybe not even a lot. I think the trend for some bots is, play safe. Really, pull back after every shot.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing dies, and that works too. But I like this is more fun.
This is definitely more. It's
watching the
definitely more
carnage.
fun to watch. There's
Just go.
There's a few
Just kill.
tweaks that you could do to obviously make this even more ridiculous. Like at these point now, I think he can just end it. But the first couple times he killed bases, he could have just taken the entire army home, lost nothing basically.
Yeah.
And then come back. He didn't.
Well, and that's
but
that
that's
fine
fine.
line you got to figure out is, where do I keep throwing units? Where am I still doing damage? Or where all of a sudden, where am I now just sacrificing one unit at a time, which we see a lot of bots fall prey to as well. I'm just going to keep attacking. But it's like you're never going to attack into these 10 tanks with one Marine at a time. It's just never going to work scenario. So, but this time, Tyr rode the line quite well. and was able to do a lot of damage over and over. And now we're kind of at a little bit of a stalemate here, but it will eventually go into tier.
Yeah, we're gonna get Benbot essentially running out of any mining.
Yeah, he's just gonna run out of money.
He's long distance mining.
Much out.
Yeah, I think both those are out, but he's long distance. See the SCVs going off to the right there.
Yeah, every time a group comes in, they deliver.
But yeah, he has no mineral income anymore.
Ain't no money. Man, wouldn't that be cool if we just needed minerals as a society? We didn't need like money, and just go collect ore, and we can make things out of that ore. You know?
I feel like we did run that way for like quite a while.
Well, yeah, but you had to have a bunch of different types of ore. I'm talking just one type
just
of
the
ore.
one. Just the
put
one
it into the machine.
Thing.
You get out a house. You put it in the machine. Brand new car. You know,
that would be nice.
That's all you need is that mineral. That would be the way to go.
That would be.
All right.
They always simplify it in games. Always.
It's just easier. Yeah, I can't go too complicated. All right, Tier taking game number 1 here, looking very, very strong. Again, has a lot of experience under his belt. Has done random, has done Protoss for a long time, so just has a lot of you know, it's those scenarios that you need to encounter as a bot author. I think that make your bot really good, because you can't make your bot deal with a certain scenario usually until you see that scenario. There are so many different scenarios in StarCraft, pretty much infinite, if you think about it, that you have to then account for and try to deal with and react with at a certain time in a certain place. And Tier's been around the block quite a while, so has a lot of experience under that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just I think the most impressive thing in that whole game, not just the aggression stuff, but that switch to cyclones when it was appropriate briefly, and then switching back to the way he was doing it before. Like, that was just really on point decision making.
That can be the hardest thing for a bot sometimes, is just getting stuck in that one bit of code saying do this thing, you know, and you keep trying to accomplish that regardless of whether you can or not. So that's really smart to be able to adapt and pull back and change your, you know, what you're doing. It's what makes the best bots. All right, game number 2 is ready. They're gonna do it right now.
Glossiers.
Benbot BC.
Tier and Gertians.
Tier. Ooh, look at this, Ender Sword. Another new map.
It is indeed.
It's the night of new maps.
Scales. Dragon scales. There's a real medieval theme.
Is there?
Somehow. The last one was what? Royal Blood?
Oh, yeah.
This is dragon scales. It's very
interesting.
Throny.
I wonder if that inspired it. Oh, it's a nice looking map. I actually have not looked at these maps very much in depth. After tonight, I will. And I'll familiarize myself a little more with them. I've been really bad about watching StarCraft recently. I've been a naughty StarCraft fan.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it.
I watched a little bit of Home Story Cup. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm into the bot scene now. I honestly have the AI stream. There's the Twitch AI Arena stream, by the way, in case you all didn't know. Go check it out. 24/7 bot games. You can, as a bot author, request games or something, I think, and they'll end up on the stream. Or I don't know exactly how it works, but you can go watch these bots, and it's, you know, a lot of fun. It's a lot of good games.
Yes, they are indeed.
Some of them are a little hurt. You know, it's, you know, Aerys versus like a brand new bot or something.
Yeah. But
like
yeah, of course, you got to go through that to get there. Like,
you got to go through it.
Yeah, that's the idea. Because these bots don't just, like, in a tournament like this, we're seeing, like, you know, best of 3s and stuff. Of course, on those ladders, they're doing like thousands of games.
Yeah,
like, it's just permanently going, and that's kind of the idea, is just play a lot, and figure out what's up.
No, I'm really enjoying the bot games these days, though, because of the unpredictability. It almost feels like the early stages of when StarCraft 2 first came out, when people were still learning. Obviously, we know how the game works now. We know this is that. But as far as the bots are concerned, we're still learning how they interact with things differently than humans sometimes. A good example would be bunker mining.
Yeah.
Never in my life did I think I would see, before I started watching bots, did I think I'd see a bunker using 2 SCVs to mine gas just as fast as 3. And even now somebody's working on a mineral mining one and got it to increase it by like 10% or something like that.
Yeah, and just the speed mining in general of like boosting for the acceleration and everything. Like
it's not always
go ahead. There's a lot of stuff that like early on in StarCraft people looked at it and were like, this is theoretically possible, and then figured it like, but you couldn't do it as a human, or you couldn't do it for more than like stuff like this speed mining and stuff. People were trying to do manually for the first like 20 seconds of a game or something, but you can't do it once you're playing like building buildings and controlling units. But the bot,
speaking of speed mining, there's a good example there. If you go back into Tier's mineral one, or Benbot, pretty much all the bots.
I think a lot of them have incorporated it. Yeah,
pretty much every single bot does it now. Maybe a couple of the new ones don't. They just have to incorporate it. But it's almost a requirement now, I think.
I think it's you can get 8 to 12% faster, something like that. For anyone that doesn't know how this works, so basically, naturally, if you just let your units mine, they will decelerate as they approach a mineral patch and decelerate as they approach a command center. So what they're doing is manually clicking or computerized clicking right next to the command center and then finishing it so that it never decelerates.
Because there's no deceleration on just movement.
Exactly. So you can see it's almost like they're coming and just slamming into the command center and slamming into the minerals. And so you can perfectly just make them go full speed the entire time, where naturally they don't. They slow down to deposit and turn around.
Well, not only does it stop them from slowing down, now you don't have to re-accelerate.
Yes, exactly.
Back up from stop,
Yeah, they're just instant.
Now, does an attack move? What does an attack move do? Does that do just like a move command where there's no deceleration, or would there be deceleration?
I think it's the same. If you're, I don't think you slow down at the point.
Let's see right here. Oh, well, I guess I don't know what this
I don't think you slow down at the point. You just start to fire if you get into range.
Oh, but say there's nothing in range and you are reaching your attack move destination like you would move.
I don't think you slow down, no.
Yeah, it'd probably be the same as move. Yeah.
Because the whole point is they're just doing a move forward and then it doesn't slow down. It would just walk there.
Yeah.
But it's because, I don't know why they even made it that way, but but it's like they're decelerating to perform an action. It's almost like they had to go to the way to put that in, and then people are trying to bypass it.
Yeah. Huh. I've never thought about it that. Why does the SCV, why does the worker decelerate? Was it a balance thing just to make it, maybe it just makes it look more natural?
It does look more natural.
It might have been just an aesthetic thing, yeah.
When you look at this, it does look like it literally looks like they're just abruptly crashing in. Yeah, it doesn't look the same.
It's not smooth. So yeah, it could have just been purely an aesthetic choice just to make it look better. Huh.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. Interesting. All right, well, let's see what's going on here on Dragon Scales. Again, our AI map version. Tier's got a third base and a push coming across. This looks like the same push, as before.
Yeah. So this may be
big amount of tanks.
Map-wise, again, we're in a different situation.
Oh yeah, that ramp.
Yeah,
that ramp you were talking about earlier on the natural. So now it's going to be harder for Tier to push up, but Tier doesn't really want to push up. Tier just wants to hold this ground outside the natural. And with the Raven given the high ground vision, that actually is a pretty good spot, I think, for Tier. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, he's going to get that bunker.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going great so far. Okay. So Tier's getting a little pressure done. Do we have that that first battlecruiser's getting close to pop? Yeah, here he is. All right, so the battlecruiser is going to get Matrix. Boom! We got a couple shots off this time. That was nice, I guess. Now it seems like there's more energy for the Ravens. I think they're going to each get 2 Matrixes.
Yeah, there, and he's getting at the second bunker here now. If the Ravens get close, he just needs the vision, and he is in range.
What is it? 100 energy, right?
Yeah, I think so. The big difference here is that there's no third base down. Whereas before there was
70. I think it's 75 energy. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no bases. No
Because
bases.
a big deviation, we didn't really mention it. Benbot didn't bunker rush this time.
Oh, you're right.
So this is all happening much quicker.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so maybe it really did slow Tier down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it did because in the last game, Benbot had 3 CCs before Tier did. Now Benbot's on 2.
Nice shot.
Okay, same maneuver. But yeah, I think
I think you're right.
he's got Benbot way more behind than he was in the previous game.
Benbot's pushing a little bit more this time. Okay, yeah, there you go. Keep going. Kill those Vikings. You have got a great Air Force right now, Benbot. Push the issue before this anti-Air Force from Tier gets out of control. This could be Tier's ticket Benbot's ticket into this game and into this series here if he can keep this pressure up. Oh, he does get out of there. Not bad, though. He got one of the Ravens, killed a few Vikings off. That's huge. Killing that anti-air is going to be the biggest thing because Benbot's relying on those battlecruisers as his anchors, as his powerhouse. So do we have Cyclones yet? No, not just yet. Okay, so I'm going to keep my eye on Tier. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. Tier does have Cyclones. I'm mixed around because Tier is on bottom on the production tab and
but he's blue.
But on the map, he's on top.
He does have meta. I don't remember if he made medevacs last time because that'll give a little more staying power. Because he kept going into the Marines would dive.
Yeah, I think he had a few at about this stage. Yeah, I think he had a few.
We do have Benbot,
but he was just he kept losing them. I think.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Something. All right, here's that lone Hellion. 2 Hellion. Actually, he's got a friend this time. Brought a buddy. Last game he had so much fun.
Hellion not quite ready, running the right way to escape.
That was the most direct path home, Endersword.
It's true, and that's the problem.
Does not mean it's the safest path home. Well, that might not have even been the most direct path home. Why did he go that way? I don't know.
I think it is.
All right.
Yeah, down the middle. I don't know.
Battlecruisers coming out in mass, 2 at a time. Benbot does not have a third base anyway. Oh, way to make me look like an idiot.
Yeah, he's floating. He had built it. He's just floating.
There it is. Okay, I was like, he doesn't have one anywhere inside.
Benbot doesn't seem to tend to build on location. He does tend to build at home and then float.
It's safer, a little slower, but safer. Yeah. You know your command center is going to get up. Well, not no, but much higher chance of your command center finishing than if you were to build it on location. Not terrible.
This time around, worker count very different than the previous game. Tier's at 76, Benbot at only 58.
Tier's way faster and way more ahead this time. But here comes the Air Force. I guess there actually is a good amount of anti-air with the Cyclones now. But did they all waste their lock-ons onto one battlecruiser?
They may have.
I think they did, and now the battlecruiser is going to get a little bit more damage done than Tier might have been anticipating, but I think there's still enough here for Tier, again, just being so far ahead and so much faster.
Yeah. If Tier gets the base, this is a good thing. If he doesn't somehow, then this was a waste, but I think he is going to.
Oh, he's going to absolutely get the base. He forces the only battlecruiser back once again. There are a couple Vikings here, so the Air Force for Benbot might eventually stabilize, but no, not before that base falls.
Yeah, and again, Benbot BC down to 42 workers. He's still having trouble with like the high ground here, and he'll kind of lose the rest. But I think losing that army for the base is fine, even though it was, I think, a more valuable army. The more concern here is now there are more battle cruisers out, and
the Yamato was going off, but then it didn't go off. Maybe the unit died. I thought it was targeting the Raven.
Yeah, possibly.
Targeting something else.
Yeah. But he is pushing back fairly well here. But there's a lot of BCs alive, and there is still a concern that if Benbot gets to like 8 BCs, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he's going to get to, and our production tab went away. So
we don't need it. We know it's coming. More battlecruisers, more Thors, more Cyclones. No, I think it's just going to be a very similar outcome to last game, where Tier's just going to be able to keep throwing wave after wave. And it doesn't matter if Tier loses the units because Tier's doing damage every single time. So,
but he has to keep, because that looks a little scary.
That's a lot more battlecruisers than last time. I'll give you that.
This is what I'm saying. So I think before it never got stable above 4, and now we've got 6 already. and now he's not making anymore because his economy's running out, which is, you know, good for
Ben. Yeah, I guess that is good for tier.
You know, but if this gets to 8, 9, and they've got Viking support and stuff, don't count him out. But he's gotta make another CC. Start at 1 now, and he's gotta get mining again.
Here's my analysis of what I think is gonna happen here. One of two things. The battle cruisers, yes, they're very scary when they clump up like this and can do a lot of damage, as we're about to see here. But I don't think they're not going to be able to repair. One even just goes down. One doesn't even teleport out in time. Benbot's not going to have the money to repair, so they would have to kill and crush everything Tier has in the first fell swoop, in that first push.
Yeah. Now it's over. Yeah, now it's over. But there was a window.
And this was outcome number 2. Yeah. Was Benbot just couldn't do that.
And again, that was closer than like. All the Marines are gone now.
Yeah.
Like that, if there were 2 more BCs in there, then it was lights out.
Yeah.
But yes,
Tier just had a little too much, was a little too fast, had a little too much economy. And yeah, wave after wave did the damage, did what it needed to. And Tier's going to be able to seal the deal and take a 2-0 here. So a couple of quick 2-0s. In our first couple of series here tonight. Not bad, though. Great start. Definitely these bots are going head-to-head and putting up some really good fights. I am loving the carnage. I am super thrilled to see these bots just attacking so aggressively and really putting the pressure on their opponents. So really nicely done here. Again, nobody gets eliminated for a while, so nobody freak out just yet. We're going to see Benbot a little bit more in the future here, but we are going to have Tier moving on in the bracket to go up against Aerys. So that should be an exciting matchup, and that'll be in a couple weeks' time for Group A. But yeah, this is our start for Group A, and then Benbot and our new bot, who was our new bot? Ziggster. Our new bot Ziggster will be going down into the lower portion of Group A.
You now fight Benbot. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be, it's kind of, we get this now and then, but at this point there's so many good bots, it's hard to imagine that someone out of Tier, Benbot, and Aerys will not make it out of the group.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy. Like they're all either former champions, or I think the worst that any of these has done is like top 3. Like Tier's the champion, Aerys the champion, Benbot was 3rd or something. So,
yeah, they're typically top 4.
Yeah.
Type bots. Absolutely. No, this is a great Group A. Very excited to see these bots in action again. But that does it for Group A. And we've got more bots coming up, though, so don't go anywhere. We're not done with the show just yet. Thank you all for being here. And if you're watching the VOD, thank you for doing that as well. I know we have a lot of different time zone viewers, so we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. But yeah, we're going to go to a quick little break while we get things set up for our second group, Group B, tonight. Again, more games coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Check out our new website, ProBotsAI.com, if you want to help support future seasons of ProBots. And again, go check out our... Oh, wait, I guess I can't say go check out our website. Where do we now, Drek, download the bot client to play against the bots? Because you can go play against last season's bots if somebody has that link somewhere. Post in the chat. It'll be in the description below. Definitely, it's a fun thing to do if you're just checking out the scene and you want to get a little bit more into it. It's a fun way to start. You can go play against some of these bots that you saw here tonight. You can play against Tier, Micro Machine, typically bots like Aerys, Ketro.
On there now. Yeah,
Benbot I think is on there now. Yeah, so a good handful of bots you can go play against. Definitely go check it out. And new bot authors, if you like what you see and you want to start programming your own bot, again, go check out aiarena.net. That's going to be the best place to start. That's where all these bots come from. So they all qualified from that ladder over there. Well, 4 of them qualified from last season for being victorious and awesome. And then 12 more came from that. But they're all over there on that ladder. You can go check out all these bots and you can get involved yourself. Again, we're making a new little starter ladder map thing. We'll have more details over there if you want to go check it out. But we're going to go to a quick break here, Endersword. Catch our breath. Get ready for Group B. Are you ready?
I am ready.
No, you're not ready. We'll
go to the break. We'll be ready in 5. Give us 5.
Ready in 5. You give us 5 minutes.
So that's it. So we're jumping in our third match for the day, which is the first in Group B, is going to be Ketro versus Dominion Dog. So we got another TVT coming up here, and I think this will be a pretty good one too. Dominion Dog tends to alternate a bit. I think Dominion Dog can play like a very macro late game sort of thing, but also occasionally will do like a one base all in. And Ketrock tends to be the late smother you to death sort of Terran.
Yeah, he plays that kind of that safer game. Definitely a lot more conservative. Wants to basically be the most cost efficient, have the most cost efficient trades, which is a very smart, and if you can pull it off, a great way to play, because that's what StarCraft is all about, is efficient trades, getting value out of your units, doing more damage than it costs to build it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Ketrock definitely pulls that off. So here's Group B. We'll also be seeing Zena and Sharpened Edge.
Indeed.
Both coming back at it. Excuse me. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for being here. I did want to mention real fast, we actually have a GitHub page. You can find the link probably below me somewhere. But if you are a new bot author, again, we're really trying to cater to you guys and get more people into this. We have templates that you can download, ready-to-go bots that you just tweak a couple things to make it your own, and you can start having a bot on the ladder and competing in tournaments, in the daily ladder, in that kind of thing. Or if you just want to do it and have fun, you don't have to do it to be competitive. You can just make a bot to make a bot because you like StarCraft. You want to make a bot do things.
Yeah.
That is also an option. But we have templates for you to get you started. So go check it out. All right. Are we... Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at the stats before jumping. Take a look at the stats here. All right. Here's our match coming up. Again, Group B, we're going to be seeing our first match here. Ketrock and Dominion Dog going at it. Ketrock, Ketrock is also one of those top 3, if not grand finals, almost every season finishers. I think has 2 first place victories, like 2 or 3 second place victories or something.
Sounds right to me.
Oh no, wait, Ketrock only has. Oh, we don't have the seasons updated still on Liquipedia.
Yeah, they're not quite up. If somebody wants to do that, that'd be
fun. If anyone who has access and ability to update Liquipedia, we're missing 22 and 22, season 2 and season 3. But...
And Dominion Dog, the perpetual best portrait winner, smoking dog in a hat. Again, a bot that's kind of changed a lot over time and always kind of, I think now gets the respect, but when we were doing like all the brackets before and predictions and everything, typically was like under chosen and then would slowly, quietly get to a round of 4 like each season. So definitely
this is going to be a good match. Going to be awesome. All right, I think we're pretty much ready. Thank you all once again for being here on day 1 of season 1 here in 2023 of ProBots. We have an awesome TVT coming your way right now. Ketrock versus Dominion Dog. Let's go. Good. That's how you should do it. Uh-oh.
Ketrocks.
Ketrock.
Fidelina and Underdog.
Dominion Dog.
So we saw the Raven Cyclone call by Ketrock.
Here we go. What was going on with it looked like the workers were having a little bit of trouble for Ketrock at the start there. Or maybe they were just, because I know he's trying to get 2 on each mineral patch.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if some of them got like stopped or stuff. It looked like a couple of them just like went idle for a second. Maybe I was
Yeah, possible just while he was rearranging them. I'm not sure.
It was just rearranging and looked a little funny was all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Either way, we're perfectly on time here.
Good now.
Did we have this map list last season? Ancient Cistern. I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Nope, we did not.
Yeah.
So another new
think-
map.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if any. I was looking at the list. I don't know if any of them are carryovers from last season.
Yeah, they might not be. I think we do have a totally new map pool. Yeah. That's awesome. That's good. Keeps it fresh.
Indeed it does. Yeah, this one looks more, Aztec-y or something. Ancient.
It is an ancient system.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it was a cistern is just a big vessel for water or something, right?
Yeah.
So
this is
basically,
where
this
they
is
kept
just
all
an
their
ancient
water.
aquifer or whatever. It's like or what are those?
Aqueduct.
No, when you go jet skiing on them, where we keep all the water.
Oh,
my
like
brain just stopped.
yeah. You mean almost
Wow.
like the treatment lakes?
Yeah, pretty kind of like
Yeah,
that. No, there's
yeah.
Reservoir. Jeez,
Reservoir. Yeah.
God, I don't know. I couldn't think of that. Yeah, just a giant old reservoir. Anyway, all right.
right.
Well,
Okay.
let's see what these two are going to do again. TBT here. Ketro usually actually has been getting a little more aggressive these days. Even will do a proxy here and there. So Ketro becoming one of those unpredictable bots, kind of like Tier, where you just you don't know what he's going to do because he can do so many things.
Yeah, I think he just does like some of the old fights between him and like Micro Machine were very like improvising for what's going to work, and I think Ketro plays in that way. Like he's just a very creative guy. Like anyone that watches him, like himself, actually play StarCraft, he's just very creative with everything he does, and he's been streaming for StarCraft is now 13 years old.
Yeah,
than StarCraft 2 is. And he's always just done that creative stuff. So I think he's just gonna, if something he thinks is gonna work, even if it's totally outside like the style he's used to, he'll still do it. Like you can, like he'll adapt very quickly to whatever is going to work in that instance. I think he takes. We've had that in the past. Like H-Jacks used to make a bot, but like there's a few cases where some of the people making bots are also just very good players. And so they bring, I obviously Scarlet made one for a little while. So they bring that sort of mindset to it, which I think is different than the people. There's a lot of people that make these and really don't play the game at all.
We've got a couple of team authors, author teams that, I don't think if they've ever played it necessarily. Yeah. They might have watched some streams of it. Who was it? There was one author, he had never even like watched StarCraft. He just likes programming AIs and was like, "Oh, this looks cool."
Is it Dominion Dog one of those
Dominion
guys?
Dog?
I think Dominion Dog and his
Fidelina?
Yeah. Fidelina and
this is one of the this is one of the teams.
Yeah.
Fidelina and Underdog.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, and I don't think that they play. I mean, at this point, if you've coded a bot for like 4 years, like install a game.
Right?
Like play a little bit.
I actually don't even have StarCraft installed anymore. I've been very bad StarCraft fan. I kind of swore it off for a while there. I got a little burnt out on it.
I've gone through those periods, but I'll come back now and then. There was definitely
the bots got me coming back for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple of years where the only times I really played was I would play like a week before we did the humans versus bots to make sure that I could still play the game.
Didn't look like a fool.
Yeah.
Get crushed by Micro Machine.
Yeah. But you don't lose. You do lose it if you're at the high end, but But I mean, whatever. I'm pretty sure I could. Anytime I go back, I'm always going to be diamond or higher. Like you're not going to lose.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, you're not going to lose that much.
Yeah. Well, I do about a yearly StarCraft playthrough, the original StarCraft.
Oh yes.
That and Brood War. So that's where I get my practice still.
This makes sense. Yeah, I did the replay through the original when they did remastered, but even that's a while ago now.
Yeah. All right. Well, things are shaping up nicely for Ketro here in this ancient cistern. He has got 3 bases. Rocking and rolling right now, and he's got Cyclones. We saw how good those did last matchup.
Yep, doing pretty good. He's worker count and army count both a little bit lower, but we'll see kind of what direction he's going in here. But he's almost got a 4th command center done there as well. But it seems like Dominion Dog is maybe.
Oh yeah, Dominion Dog's actually more. He's got a fourth baseman still down on location.
Yeah, he's a bit ahead, and I think he may be looking to angle for an attack. Maybe once that one's finished.
Well, so what? How is Dominion Dog so much further ahead here? Like he's not like super far ahead, but that's to be up on that many workers, and now he's got the base that much sooner, and he's got almost like 30% more army supply.
Yeah. I think
he's got an upgrade finish.
So a little bit of what they tend to do. Ketrok tends to go for the planetary fortress instead of the orbital.
Yeah. So he's got
Ketrok also gets. I think he just techs a little more. Like he's building 2 armories right now.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he does have building armor on the way. He's got Ravens are really gas heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is going for a little bit more of an expensive composition and build. So it's just a little slower to start, I guess, in that sense. Whereas Dominion Dog has a lot of Marines. So yeah, really just cranked out some army to get some army supply on the map, and he's going to be able to close the distance to the tanks. Crushing it.
Yeah, really good pickup there. If Dominion Dog just kind of continues on, I think he could kind of take a pretty big lead really early.
Oh, he's got more than double the army supply.
Yeah.
He could just go shut down whatever base of Ketrox he wants.
It's just going to be, does he go?
If he goes.
Yeah, he's not
if he attacks.
Yeah, he's not going to go. He doesn't really realize that. Which is...
That's all right. Still, he's ahead.
Yeah.
Get more ahead.
You can. But sometimes you got to say, if you're ahead, use the fact that you're ahead.
Well, if you get ahead to 200 supply and then stop, then you're letting them get to the same point. Whoa.
That was very circular. Yeah.
Well, no, it's like a octagon click action. Hold on, let's do it again.
It's his.
It was patrol paths.
Yeah, that.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. It's like a bunch of squares. Okay.
Cool. It's cool.
Like a little
it's cool.
Or pentagon overlapping.
Let's see if he repeats it. Yep, there you go.
Cool. Look at that. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that happens just instantaneously.
It's fun.
That's awesome. All right, here we go. A little hit force. Where Ketrok's going to be poking into this, what is that, third, fourth, whatever, whichever one this is. Wow, they get right up on it. Not using their range at all. That's fine. He's still doing damage to it. Here comes that giant Marine force, though. Dominion Dog just needs to go. He's got 3 times the army supply, pretty much. If these Marines were to just push across and attack, he could easily gun down one of the planetaries. Like, he's pushing back turrets and tanks right now with just a small fraction of those Marines.
Yeah, if he knew to go, and he wouldn't have to go much further to find that base. But
it's okay. Well, Ketrok's going to put one right in front of him, so
he's going to see it.
Throw him a bone here
because of this.
All right, so Dominion Dog will get a freebie here. Does get canceled, and it looks like finally Dominion Dog is going to keep pushing the issue here, and is going to be able to get on the space. Some turrets come down. They're going to be able to do some damage and buy a little bit of time. Actually, they're going to buy plenty of time for this planetary to just eviscerate the Marines. That was not the best way for the Marines to stutter step. They basically started attacking the planetary and then stutter stepped into a field of turrets. If they had stutter stepped the other way, they might have actually been able to get a lot of damage done. I don't think they were going to kill that because the army wasn't grouped up properly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it would have gone a little better for sure. Yeah, these turrets, they're free army. As long as Ketrok has energy, he can throw these turrets down, and it doesn't matter if they die. It doesn't matter if they get kills. As long as they stop Dominion Dog from killing his base or,
they're just distractions. Yeah,
they're distracted. They're perfect.
Literally throwing a flare down.
Yeah. And it's just, again, talking about that cost efficiency. You don't get much more cost efficient than free units, energy-based free units, kind of like that. Here we go. He's going to start doing a little turret pressure of his own on an orbital, so no defense other than the Marines that are going to start trickling in. Okay, so Dominion Dog has a big army lead still. What can Dominion Dog do here, Undersword? I don't even know.
I think the big thing is, keeping the army grouped up, but then he's got to go around the edges and clearing the bases. Like, if he just keeps these from getting up, then I think he's good. And
he
things
can,
like
he
this.
can go for that longer game as long as he
if
slows
he just
down.
keeps picking this sort of thing off, which he should.
Here's
get
another
this before
freebie.
it converts. Funny, he's targeting everything except the thing he needed to, but he got it anyway.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't a threat yet because it wasn't shooting at him.
Well, neither were the gases.
That's why they were the same priority level.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the cyclone dance there. Doing the cyclone jiggle. Actually coming in multiple spots. We'll see how this works out. Again, double the army supply. You can kind of afford to do this and split up a little bit more, and it really stretches Ketrock a lot thinner. But those planetaries are so good.
That's it. You don't want to lose half your army to one of those for nothing. Now the floating CC, that'll go down. But yeah, you can't be throwing, and that's why Ketrock, of course, does the planetaries everywhere, because bots really aren't that great at the decision making on when to attack them or not, or at least most are not. So
well, there's that weird critical mass where if you have just enough units, you can still kill it. But the second you fall one Marine below that threshold, you're just wasting units now.
Exactly. You know? Or what works so well with these Ravens is the moment a few turrets go down and you get all distracted.
Yeah.
Then
that's definitely happening here.
And so and he's gonna have a similar situation here where we're gonna lose all the Marines up front.
Just for a little damage, and that's
Cyclones
not
are
enough.
Gonna pull at this, but they're never gonna kill it. It's they're gonna come clear the.
Gotta get the kill. Well, and like you said, if you had gone around the edges more, there's not going to be the same defenses way up north, and not as many distractions, not as many Ravens right nearby to pull you away from killing that base. Targeting it down. Wow, Ketrock's just giving him free bases.
He's still just gone.
Building bases on Dominion Dog's side.
That's all he does. They only cost 400.
There they go.
Might as well. Here's another, he's going to get a lot of SCVs in that one, but I think, again, that's an ill-fated attack.
Well, another big problem, too, is no medevacs. And these you cannot use Marines against Planetary with no medevacs. Unless, you have that overwhelming number and you're just going to go down real fast. Unless you have medevacs, you cannot just stand there and fight Planetary. It just won't work out for you. Very true. All right, well. Ketrock looks like he's got the edge, got the lead. He's up on workers and army, or actually kind of a similar amount of bases.
They're similar, but there's two empty ones on Ketrock's side of things that he'll be able to get, and then he's kind of pushing. This almost looks like we described it pre-game. Ketrock strangles you, and this looks even just visually like he's strangling him.
He slowly consumes and consumes you, and just kind of engulfs your army, your movements, everything, and comes from the outside and works his way in. He's doing it really well.
Yeah, it becomes just attacking mush, and because you're just spent all your time killing these turrets on the ground. Nothing actually dies for real, but your units die for real.
I really like the concept of the turrets as an army, though, because it really does force. Okay, this is where we're fighting. So it does puts the shoe on the other foot, or puts the so the opponent then has to decide. Well, do I attack in, or do I not? Is it worth it? Sometimes is it worth attacking in, but sometimes you have no choice because your base is getting attacked, so you have to attack in. So it really does force the issue a lot of the time when your bot might not want that.
Exactly. Well, exactly. It puts you. It's a literal type of siege. Unit.
It's a siege.
It's basically. Ketrock is using the Ravens in the way that swarm hosts were used in 10 years ago. So the swarm hosts are there creating locusts, and you never want to fight locusts because they're valueless.
You just wait till they time out. Same with the turrets.
But when you get to this point that you're now right at your front door, you have to do it, or else you're going to lose these buildings. So you end up with units trickling in to try and essentially just distract the turrets from killing this command center.
But with this many Ravens, the turrets are now
infinite.
They will not stop. They are infinite at this point.
Exactly.
So really, because you could pull back and wait till the turrets time out, but then the base goes down.
And he can just make more, and he makes more. And he can make more or less. That's one advantage this has over something like Swarm Host, is you can put down 5, or he could put down 18. It's it's up to him. In the meantime, here Dominion Dog has somehow snuck into this bottom corner and taken that base, but we'll see if he.
That won't last too long. I don't think.
See if he can staff it at any point.
No, I think Ketrock's pretty much got this one in the bag. There's just no answer for the infinite turrets.
Yeah.
You have to get a couple ghosts. You have to land a couple EMPs or something. I don't even.
You have to like
that's off the top of my
overwhelm.
head. That's all I can think of. Is just EMPs and then overwhelm with Marines or something.
Yeah, or you just overwhelm with so many Vikings.
Or
that
just
they can't get
overwhelm.
away. Yeah, like something.
We're just
like
at the
that.
point, and he'll never have that critical mass though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. A nice nuke.
Well,
right in
it's
the
that
middle.
old adage. Well, this looks unbeatable. How do you beat it? Well,
Don't
don't
let
let him
them
get
do
to
it.
that point.
Yeah.
I know everyone hates that answer. It's such bullcrap. I should be able to beat everything with some counter.
Yeah,
No,
and you could
just don't let 'em
see
get
though, like, so this is something, whether you're a player or you're making bots, like if you're going to analyze your own games, the real key, like if someone like Dominion Dog is like, well, what can I do against this? I would rewind to about 6 minutes in the game and be like, remember when you destroyed his own army and you won the game and you didn't attack, attack him? Then that was the answer, right? So
oh god, what is it? There's a funny clip on our YouTube's clip page actually of a bot doing that, where the bot was ahead for 75% of the game. The bot could have just moved and won.
Yeah, and didn't.
Oh, was it? It might have been Dominion Dog too, actually.
It may have been.
Oh, I gotta go look now.
May have been. There's a few bots that we've had that will not attack until a preset supply.
Yeah, until they're
preset
maxed
condition.
or something. But it's like, oh, if you would just go, you would just won, you know?
Yeah.
Got shorts.
Yeah, and that's kind of how you improve your star sense as a player.
Oh no, it was Sharkbot versus Ketrock. So it was versus Ketrock again. Sharkbot was ahead like 75% of the game.
Yeah.
Had the game won with like some zealots in the minerals for killing all the SCVs. But then he just didn't move out and let Ketrock rebuild. And then Ketrock just won. You cannot give Ketrock that chance to build up to get this critical mass of really expensive units, because that is his vulnerable spot. Is that early game he is going for the more expensive things, so it does slow down his marine count or his defenses that he might have. Which most of the time it's going to be enough to defend little squads of Marines and that kind of thing. But if Dominion Dog could recognize what he was doing, he'd save up his Marines like he did, and then he moved and win.
Now this base in the bottom right corner is going to end up being the last base.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, look at that.
So he did get some use out of that, but
he's scouting around. Wait, he's scouting everywhere, but there's a unit that was scouting all those bases.
He must be aware of it because it has no workers.
Here it goes. No, you didn't see it. Hold on, that one, the Viking, I think, went and looked.
He has to be aware of it.
He's gonna find it eventually.
Mineral field depleted.
That's so crazy.
Mineral field.
Oh my god! It's like the one blind spot. All right,
Eventually
if
he
you
should
just don't
expand.
move,
There we
he
go.
won't
There we
see
go.
you.
Yeah, eventually
Like a
he should
T-Rex.
expand to try and take it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That'll be what finds it as the expansion.
there we go.
Good game there. Ketrock will take game number 1. But a very decisive back and forth. Really good fights there for Dominion Dog to start. He had some really good pushbacks, really pushed back Ketrock's aggression, but just didn't do enough to slow down the economy.
Yeah.
Kind of like you said, if he kind of attacked around the edges and taken out some of those bases, that really would have slowed Ketrock down as well. Because it's not quick to get to that many Ravens. It takes time.
No, it takes a while. Yeah,
It takes a while, even for a bot. So there was definitely, I think, opportunities for Dominion Dog to.
Yeah, and
to
they
make
do
some things
have to
happen.
build up. Once they've had pressure off for a little bit, they've built up so much energy that you're never going to get through it. But when he doesn't have quite that many yet, and they're just freshly built, if they're throwing the turrets down, they are running out of
They
energy.
can't
And, like,
accumulate it as much. Yeah.
because you essentially end up with, by the end of that game, like Ketrock probably only had like 6 or 7 units that had an attack.
Yeah.
But
It
he
was
just
like
had
all
the-
Ravens, pretty
all
much.
Ravens. So yeah, if
Yeah. You
can-
get a couple Vikings. Yeah.
yeah, keep someone on the
Mostly
back
Ravens.
foot of that, and then it's hard. But if you start to lay off them at all, then they just build it. And it's
So I'm looking at the end of this game here real fast on the stream. I was not watching the bank. How many minerals do you think Ketrock had at the end of that game? Did you see?
I saw at some point, but I would say 29,000.
Close. 36,000.
36,000.
All right, let's see if we can get that same bank in game 2. Let's go.
Ketrox.
Ketrox.
Fidelina and Underdogs.
Dominion Dog. All right, where are we at now? Back on the infestation station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Looks like there's big infestors underneath this. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Oh, I think I've seen those. Yeah, I think you're
But
right.
yeah, on the edges, like you can
Like
see
on the
shell of them. Yeah.
Not those. Go to the there.
that. I think that's got to be the infestor model blown up, but or like
Is it?
morphed or something. Isn't that
No,
what
it
their
looks
back
like it looks like. Oh, yeah, it is. But there's other. I think there's other Zerg things.
There's
that
something
look like
else
that,
to it.
too.
Yeah.
Some kind of base.
There's the monster
something.
energy sign.
What?
Did you see that?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
Monster getting paid for this? Like, what's
I don't know.
or is Monster
Must be good.
paying us for this?
I've got one open right now. Yeah, monster energy.
All right, Monster, we'll take our check. PO box. No. Interesting. Yeah, whoever made this really likes
Way
Monster.
to go. I liked briefly in this country they were selling the Prime energy drinks, the ones that Logan Paul and them did. But apparently they were selling them illegally and they recalled them. I don't know why they're illegal. They're the same as any energy drink, but I guess they didn't have the right to sell them here. But they were everywhere for like a couple months.
Was it in Canada too? There was a guy somewhere too who opened an illegal illicit drugs drugstore. Like he was just selling heroin.
Oh, there's
just wasn't that up in Canada?
Yeah. There's lots of that. Some of them they don't. I guess when you get into hair and stuff, they care. There's definitely a lot of stores selling stuff that they're not supposed to, or is like in a pseudo, like.
Well, that was the
illegal
strangest
state.
thing to me because I thought here, I'm in Colorado. We've
Yeah.
got legal weed and everything here.
Oh yeah, and
I
you've been
get
here and see
ID'd
how-
2 times before I can even get in there. Like they are very strict about it. I show up there and they don't even care.
Yeah,
They're just like, here you go, man. It's like going to the grocery store, gas station, and buying a soda energy drink.
Exactly. And to clarify, since Andy he did not buy heroin in Canada.
I did not buy heroin. I bought legal drugs.
Yes, we went to. He was up for Drecken's wedding last month, and was surprised at the efficiency and
I
loveliness.
was. You guys are doing it right.
Yeah.
Doing it right. Okay, here we are on Infestation Station. Seeing what these 2 bots can do. We'll see if Ketrock can get that huge 30k bank once again, or if the Minion Dog can stop him from getting that rich. That's today's day and age, right? Stop people from getting so rich.
That's
what
the
you
way
got to
go.
do, Dominion Dog. You got to
Yeah,
stop Ketrock from becoming a billionaire
It's the key.
and ruining the map.
Yeah, because once they do that, they just bribe all the politicians on the map, and there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it.
He's going to do whatever he wants to this map. Doesn't matter what you want. All right. Well, I think Dominion Dog's going to make something happen here. I'm feeling confident. He's got such a strong opener. He's really quick on the draw. He's got that real nice Marine force with +1 to start things off. And if he can just get that into the right place at the right time, that could change everything. So we'll see what he can do here.
We'll see.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Thank you, by the way. Oh, I was just saying thank you to our sponsors, all hanging out there, scrolling below the game. You are all epic.
Crucial people.
Crucial people. Check out ProBotsAI.com if you want to also be awesome like all those people. Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
That in the last game too, a lot of what was dictating Dominion Dog's avenues of attack is where Ketrock was kind of like pulling him.
Yeah.
So on this map, there's a little less of like the around the sides thing. It's a little more centralized for a few of the bases, so it could be different in how Dominion Dog's attack patterns end up going. But we'll see.
Now, I know we've talked about, these bots technically do have a limit how many actions and stuff they can do before they start breaking and that kind of thing.
Tie though.
How much does this kind of thing? Because we see a lot of bots do this, just the constant spam of, move here, stay here. When, at least from my noobish perspective, I see that and I'm like, well, if there's no enemies nearby, just hold still. and then you could use that. But if it's not adding that much action, that many actions that it's gonna, affect anything, then it's not a big deal, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm curious is how does this. Is this 10% of the bot's total capable actions? Is it 50? Is it 80? How much is this using?
It's hard to tell how much that really is because
it's just like,
visually it looks like it. But I mean, their action caps were something like 125,000 per second.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous to the point where this, I obviously, it's not going to affect it, or you would have fixed it.
But there is a point. I know that some of them have said stuff like the speed mining. You do get to a point where later in the game you can't.
You can't because you've got 10 bases, and every single one it does add up to 2.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's where I'm kind of just curious. Where's that?
Yeah, there's that APM. Yeah, so like current is in the thousands, but I think they can safely get to the high tens of thousands.
Oh yeah,
and not be of concern.
There's some guy I used to run tournaments back in the day. There's some guy came in, his lower level bronze, diamond tournaments, whatever. Comes in, has like 20,000 APM or something ridiculous, like no joke. And he's like, "Oh, I was just spamming workers at the beginning."
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
I always
Do you
always
know how many
those
thousands that is?
Yeah.
I always think of that
insane.
when I see these bots doing that. Like, hackers think they're so clever. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. All right, here we go. Marines, let's see if they can get some damage done. They actually get split up, but the force on the left might actually catch these Cyclones. Looks like the tank catches them, however, and will kill a lot of them. Does get the Cyclone at the end, but Dominion Dog's got to pull back, heal up.
For just a minute. Keeping the tank alive is better. Like, you always kind of end up comparing this to how it was the first game. Last time he lost essentially everything except the air. This time he doesn't. He does keep the tank alive. He does keep a little bit. Certainly the supply, that was obviously in Dominion Dog's favor, but it's not quite the walkover it was. Because I think last time it was Dominion Dog at the end of the fight, about the same count, like 57, but Ketro was like 20, and now he's like 28. And that's a small difference, but it's a big difference, especially when one of those things is the tank. Now he's gone Banshees this time. As well.
Oh, okay. So doing his Viking Banshee.
Yeah, Ravens too. So this will be an interesting change, but there's certainly much more offense to this.
Well, but it's also, I think, a lot more susceptible to Dominion Dog's competition because the turrets were able to buy time to fight the Marines, to damage the Marines, because there's not a lot of medevacts. The Banshees are a lot slower at doing that, I think. They are.
Rotors,
and here you go. You can see it right now. It just gets pushed back and crushed. So,
losing 3 of those really hurts, and he did lose them. Rotor is about to finish up. It just did there.
It just not one time.
Had he had that, then he probably could have got those away.
Well, that's when they become untouchable because they're so fast. Yeah,
super quick. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
for a cloaked unit to be that fast. It would be like adding blink to DTs.
Yeah. Who would do that crazy thing?
Yes, of course they did.
Madness. That sounds insane.
Yeah. Which are fun. But it's again, you've got a position where Ketro is on the back foot, and if Dominion Dog realized this and was able to capitalize on it, he's almost 3-1. And he's got a double upgrade advantage. He's just got way more. He's moving out now. Hopefully this is like a strong attack for him. But
did we ever see on the top pro scene any Protoss doing mass blink DT?
Not really.
Yeah. I don't think it was ever as viable. If you can't stop the DTs walking in slow, it's the same as them blinking it. You're gonna die to the DTs anyway.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's the fact that they added enough time that there's nobody that didn't have good coverage detection before they.
Anyway, man, this is a slaughter. Dominion Dog just kind of comes in every which way and gets pulled apart here.
Yeah, he's kind of ending up split. So again, he crushed a base, but he's really all over the place. They're back still at the base they killed.
Oh, here we go. Okay, they're coming in now.
So if he can get another one, the real key to this is the Vikings chasing.
Yeah, those Vikings just pushed all the Air Force back. That's super huge. They're right at the point, the retreat point, where Ketrock repairs everything.
Yeah. If he can camp that point, and then all the production coming out will die. Now, he's still got a lot of these Banshees left, and that's pretty big, but he's really losing a fair bit to this.
That Planetary's got some range, man.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot more damaging than we saw in the first game.
Yeah,
he's only got 25 army supply, and all the army supply is effectively in those Banshees at the moment. So if he can deal with that, then a couple.
Well, where is Dominion Dog has double the army supply, but I guess it's like in those medevacs.
His are the medevacs and the Vikings.
Yeah,
so
where the heck's the army?
Everything on the ground is dead. But he's making 9 Marines at a time. If he can get those pumped up a bit, then he's going to shut it down.
Now, that was interesting. Usually we see the Banshees retreat a little more readily. Maybe they had some kind of command or just realized they couldn't get away because they just sat there and got eviscerated.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I'm just not used to seeing Ketrock's Banshees sit there and die.
Yeah, here this is, again, a good comparison of, like, it looks like resource-wise things have been relatively even. In reality, Dominion Dog, and maybe it's just that he's collected a lot more, but he definitely is way ahead.
I think a big part of it is just the Raven Force isn't here. Yeah. I think that is a huge part. Against this kind of composition, the turrets were so good. Yeah.
Now this
Banshees,
even
not
things
so
up
much.
A bit. Is he going to get this DF?
He's got a lot of Marines coming. He's got reinforcements coming in. Nothing's repairing it at the moment, but he just doesn't have enough there.
Yeah, and now he is going to lose. If he loses this air battle, this is pretty decisive, but...
it's close, but the Cyclone actually comes in clutch and does cinch the deal for Ketrock, it looks like. Yeah, that Cyclone coming in was pretty big. Cyclone for Dominion Dog actually shows up too, but it's focused on the Planetary. So yeah, this does get pushed back. Oh, that was looking so much better for Dominion Dog this time around, but Ketrock once again manages to hold it off without really taking that much damage.
Yeah, and Ketrock, this is what Ketrock really excels at, is trading efficiently, absorbing is kind of how I tend like, you just absorb and you kind of, Dominion Dog's army doesn't really stay together, and he distracts you, and he, everything's coming in from the side, and everything's cloaked over here, and this is that. So you can't really, you want to just target fire the command center down, get your win, but it never happens. And
this was a much better game, though, for Dominion Dog. He still has a huge army supply. This isn't done yet. 2-2 on that bio.
No, it's on the way. Yeah, and it's funny. We're almost leaning towards calling it for Ketrock already.
Well, it's just not. Every attack doesn't quite. Is he gonna get it? He gets one. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what we needed. Now I'm feeling better for Dominion Dog. That was nice.
Yeah, he's got to get that. He's actually moving towards that top base too.
He just had to get that momentum.
He
just kept getting stopped right at that Planetary.
Yeah.
And then
if he can shut down this little factory zone, or like starport zone.
Starports,
like
that's a lot of.
But he's gonna get cleaned up. But the fact that even 3 of those have not, or 4 of them have not finished, is good. He's going after that side base again. I don't know if he'll
he's even things out really, really nicely. I'd say, but Ketrock is still holding on.
The Banshee
still got that
getting crazy.
It's just that that vibe of Ketrock's getting the shit beat out of him right now, but he still has a bazooka that he's gonna shoot you with at the end of the fight. Yeah, it still kind of has that feel to it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because Ketrock's up in supply. These Marines starting to get a little. Siren's gonna. Sirens they're coming for Dominion Dog, I'm telling you. You're gonna need an ambulance here soon for all these Marines. I don't know. This is hard to say because Ketrock is running a little low on the bank.
He's running
Dominion
lower.
Dog does have a great economy still.
Yeah, Dominion Dog's probably better off, but Ketrock has taken the lead in the army supply.
It's just that let's look at the trades. How efficient has Ketrock traded this game compared to last?
I think it really turned. It was really, really even up until recently. Now
so it's not that bad in Dominion or in Ketrock's favor, but
gas
definitely
gas is
Ketro's
okay, and minerals are took a swing.
But it's all those Marines.
Yeah.
Dominion Dog has just been cranking out Marines, sending them to their bloody deaths across the map here. And sometimes they get the job done, sometimes they don't. That's just the life of a Marine, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
You fight, and then you die.
Yeah, again, I feel like we need a backbone here, and this is where I think
Yeah.
a unit like the Thor comes in.
Yeah, like we saw with Benbot and Teeter. Yeah.
You need
Forward
something
battle
to
cruiser.
rally around so that things can't group up around you.
Mhm.
They can't just one-shot, because like Marines just individually just die.
Oh, they're just dying to Banshees and tank fire. And, Well, and the Thor would really help to keep the Banshees at bay a little bit more, too, so the Marines aren't taking so many shots. Right?
This weird group of Marines over to the right here, too, is like, they could be ending, and it like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just stuck there.
They would just die if they went in.
They would die if they went in, but then they should leave. They've just been there.
And
So,
do something else.
yeah,
Oh, they
and-
were waiting for a medevac.
I think that's literally it.
Oh,
But,
actually, they might get this. There are enough Marines came
yeah.
in to help. Cyclone doing some
They
damage.
group up, though. Yeah, they'll get
we
it.
go.
They group up.
Man,
If you split the Marines, like just spread the Marines around it, then it wouldn't be able to mass murder them like that.
Yeah,
I get
that would
it.
reduce the splash damage a lot. Yeah, that's something to really think about as a bot author. Not clumping your units against tanks, planetaries, Colossus. You really do need to, but that's hard because you then have to take into account: am I in a choke point? Am I in an open area?
Yeah,
am
there's
I
lots of
walking
problems.
around something? There's just so many variables. It's really hard.
Yeah, and you lose that sort of Marine mass power. They end up getting distracted.
This is like watching. I'm trying to think of like two kung fu masters or something, like Jet Li versus I don't even know. Basically, Dominion Dog has gotten some incredibly powerful hits off, or like a boxing match. Yeah, a boxing match is probably a better analogy. You know, Dominion Dog has just done so many things to Ketro, just so many blow after blow, and just has been non-stop fighting. He has finally killed a few planetaries, which is not easy to do. Could not accomplish it that easily last game. But Ketroc has just weathered it all. He is just still standing. We're on like round of 18 of this boxing match.
Yeah.
And Dominion Dog's running out of steam.
Yeah, he is, and like the economy's still pumping. You can see he just doesn't have both of them have pretty good bank, but Ketroc's max. But yeah, Dominion Dog doesn't essentially have the production to keep pumping.
He doesn't have the longevity. As soon as the money runs out, Dominion Dog can't keep sending wave after wave of Marine. If the money was endless, yeah, I think Dominion Dog would still stand a good chance because he could keep sending this wave after wave after wave of things. But
yeah,
the,
I think
the Banshees are going to stay alive. The Ravens are going to stay alive to the end of the game. The Marines,
yeah, they're going to live. Like you eventually need to overwhelm, and he needs. I think it's that he needs like 4 more starports and like 8 more barracks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he's maxing his production, but it's not enough. 15 Marines every 30 seconds is not enough.
Well, when you got 3,800 minerals, 10 more barracks in there right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Ketroc is like Ali doing the rope-a-dope. Like the
Yeah,
butterfly.
it is quite a bit like that. But he and Aerys does a very similar thing.
Yeah, absorb, you know, react, and then when you have enough, just overwhelm.
Yeah, you just fight back from there.
Basically, it's not. You're not even over. You're just making the opponent wear themselves out on you.
This is a good little push here. He's getting a lot of the Banshees pushed back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they get above the background. They're safe.
They do. He killed like 3 or 4 there though, but they're gonna evaporate here.
Yeah, it was a nice little attempt, but just again, not enough longevity to these little hit squads or Dominion Dog. You know, they just can't quite get the job done.
Yeah, and then you kind of throw good after bad here.
About to run out of money here soon too. I think he's on like 2.5-ish mining bases maybe, but
And Ketroc somehow like Ketroc's main still has minerals in it and stuff.
Oh really? Yeah, he's just so cost efficient.
I think he just doesn't have any workers, or they're just repairing.
Or they probably got pulled off because there's
Yeah.
few enough that he's like, I'd rather have you on this bigger.
Yeah, because he's got every one of his bases still has minerals, but yeah, you can see Dominion Dog's mined out basically.
Well, this is the beginning of the end here for Dominion Dog. I do believe Ketroc is going to seal the deal. There's just not enough. Yeah, not enough production. 15 Marines at a time for the last 5-10 minutes, however long. It's just not enough to deal with these Banshees or the Raven, the few Ravens. And now there's actually more Ravens now with more turrets. That's even worse for me. It's kind of like last game. So, yeah, Ketrok's going to take the 2-0 here, unless some miracle crash happens or something.
Yeah.
That'll happen. We don't see bots crash too often in ProBots anymore. It used to be,
it's pretty rare.
50-50 chance in those first few seasons. Maybe not even that much, but now it's really rare to see a bot crash. So
there's another.
Maybe one of the new ones.
We're just seeing more monster signs throughout.
Yeah.
On that little tower.
Oh, are we about to get the Ketrok BM mules, or not until it gets mined out? I think. Yeah, we didn't get to see him this game. That's all right. All right, well, you can probably fast forward a little bit here.
Yeah, this will take a while, but it's.
This'll take a while. Watch the Carnage on fast forward.
It takes a long time for turrets to kill an entire base, or seven bases.
Well, you gotta do wave after wave after wave of turrets.
Yeah,
it takes time. But no, great series between these two. Definitely, I think our closest series of the night so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think these two just went head to head. Man, they were like two rams just going at each other, just butting each other, just doing damage. And Dominion Dog got his horn stuck in Ketrok's and got his head ripped off, and now Ketrok will be able to trade around and continue living and do whatever rams do after winning a duel. Start a family.
They go to the
Ram family.
Ram winners bracket. That's what it is.
All right, yeah, Ketrok's going to be waiting for either Zena or Sharpened Edge. That is going to be our next match coming up here. Finish him. Last barracks goes down. Oh, 2 barracks. And wait for it. Vikings, what are you doing?
Just not going to hit it with the Vikings. Woo.
Barely got it with that Cyclone lock-on. That was almost out of range here. It would have burned down eventually. Good job, Ketrok. You're moving on. Great showing, though, Dominion Dog. Yeah, kind of to your point earlier, it's hard to imagine any one of these three not moving on. Tyr, Ketrok, or Dominion Dog. Or, I'm sorry, Sharpened.
Well, this group's got it, too. Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking group A. I'm sorry. Ketrok, Dominion Dog, or Sharpened Edge. Yeah.
But
even Zena. Definitely. So Zena, let's go and start talking about our next matchup here. Zena and Sharpened Edge. Zena has actually been around a little bit. This is Zena's 3rd season, 4th season, something like that. I don't have my notes anymore. I lost them. I had a cool little breakdown of how many seasons everyone's been in. But yeah, no, Zena's definitely gone toe to toe with some of the top bots. So has had a little bit of training in that regard. Is programmed in Haskell, our only bot programmed in Haskell. A little interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Again, has that advantage, but also disadvantage of being a new bot in a new language. This, again, being the first bot in Haskell, that framework had to be implemented from scratch. So that's just a lot of extra work that you got to put into that bot now, just to do the basic things that, bots that are using Python or whatever, they've already got some of that stuff already built in or figured out. So it's just, it's a little quicker, a little easier.
Yeah, for sure. This graphic says first time, but isn't this the second? I think it is the second time, right? Because
at least the second time.
At least the second time.
Wait, appearance first time? No,
well,
we have to have seen Zena before, right?
Because I've seen this picture before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm almost certain. Yeah, it's at least the second, but before. I don't know. Soup Catcher's in chat. You can tell us.
Yeah, because we've had Soup Catcher in the tournament. Maybe he used a different
bot. Soup Catcher has had other bots too. Yeah, there. Yeah. I think that's right, but you can tell us in chat. But I thought this was at least the second time.
At least the second time.
Yeah, he said second. Yeah.
Okay, it's second time. Okay, cool. Right. But yeah, great image. Little Zena, warrior princess there.
Yeah.
Love it. And then Sharpened Edge coming back for, his 11th, 12th, 13th season, something like that.
Yeah.
All of them. He's been in almost all of them. Infi does a great job. And I'm very excited to see what Sharpened Edge will bring to the table this season. Sharpened Edge, it's always one of those later stage bots, but doesn't always quite make it into the top 4. I'd say about half the time.
Yeah, I think
can get into the top 4, but
I think too. There's just some bots are playing like coldly for the win, and some bots are playing for the like the theory of it. And I always felt like Sharpened Edge was playing to like, can I make all the units work? Can I do this? Can I do this? And like sometimes if that's your goal, it's not necessarily the best way to win, but it shows off the capabilities. Like Sharpened Edge, I think, is the first one to really use storms and
tempests.
Tempests and things like that. Like to like casting and whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most well-rounded bots for sure.
So sometimes your goal is not necessarily the cold hard first place, but you want to show what you can do.
Make your bot do all the things that it can do. All right, I think our match is ready. Let's go ahead and hop into our final series of the night. Thank you all once again for being here. Day 1 of ProBots Season 1, 2023. Let's go ahead and hop into our final match. Zena versus Sharpened Edge right now.
Team Zenas.
Zena.
Dr. Infuse.
Sharpened Edge. Oh, I thought you were talking. I looked over on the stream and saw your mouth moving. I was like, wait, what are you saying? You're muted. What was I just gonna say? Here we are on Golden Aura. Yeah. Oh yeah, for the bot pictures. I think so far we have seen all the bots have their own custom picture, right? There's always a couple every season that have that generic bot picture.
I think Ziggster still had the generic.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I think, but I don't know.
I can't remember. If you are a new bot author and you need help making a bot image or an icon or something for your bot, let me know. Send me a DM. Hit me up in the Discord. I'll help you out. I've helped a couple bot authors with it. It's not hard. Yep. I can do it in like 20 seconds for you. Just, send me an image that you like or something similar to what you like, and I'll slap it together real fast. Yeah, I'm not going to do like custom artwork or anything for you, but I'll slap something together and get you a custom little image.
We'll be fine. We got 8 lings coming out, so that was a 12th goal, I think.
Whoa, run, probe!
Now, they don't want to waste this much time doing whatever the hell they're doing right now.
This is just the scout and probe, you guys.
Yeah.
Calm down. Like, if there was 2 probes or something, I could see it. But, no, he's got that fear of the cannon rush. Oh, no. This is why. Okay, there was.
I knew. Yeah, no, I knew they were all going. It's just now.
Okay.
It's just now they're 20 seconds later, 30 seconds. Later.
Yeah, that probe did buy a little bit of time and allows this wall off to get a little bit sturdier.
It's going to be 2 zealots, and they're going to crash into it.
Because the wall off would have been done regardless, but now it's got a lot more health.
Well, he's going to be able to, because what you could do before is have lings attack on one side, you mineral walk your drone start. Now he's got to actually get there though. No.
Oh yeah, he can. Okay, he can get through that.
Yeah. So this is what you wanted, but this would have been way better with 1 zealot instead of 2.
Yeah, I think it's still fine.
He'll get through, but he'll. I mean, you can see the problems already.
Oh yeah, there we go. Well, they mineral walked on the zealot, but now they're not mineral walking on the. Oh, so
I don't think they knew the plan. Like the plan was to mineral walk on the 1 zealot. The plan was not to have a second one up already.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it went in another, and again now he should.
They're gonna get through.
He should go after the pylon, but yeah.
Wait, is that on my screen? Wait, what is that? Somebody's CPU stats just popped up. I don't know if that's on stream or what.
I don't see it.
You don't see that? Why do I see that? Oh, you don't have the parsec thing up. That's
no, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's probably.
Anyway, they're dead. Those lings didn't go either. So again, that single probe possibly saved this whole thing.
Yeah,
because,
very possibly.
He did obliterate the first zealot pretty quick. Second one was holding its ground pretty well with probes. A third one came out, and then of course you get the 2 adepts out. But had he blown through the first, it did look like he had intention to attack the pylon, and then just take the rest down.
Oh, Sharpened Edge throwing out the shade, even commenting on how late that worker rush was.
So this map also
has. Haha, I got you. I made your worker rush late.
This map also has an energy, monster energy thing.
What the heck is Monster sponsoring StarCraft now or something?
Are they? Maybe. I mean, they have sponsored StarCraft tournaments. They used to sponsor. Well, maybe they still do sponsor DreamHack.
Yeah, why the heck is this on all the maps?
DreamHack.
It just looks ugly. Like
it looks out of place. It looked better on the other one.
It's just out of place.
The other,
the
other one had the monster colors in the map. It had like the glowing green and stuff.
This just looks like sellout consumerism to me. Yeah. Get your brand logos out of here. All right. Zena is going to try for I guess a round 2. Oh, no. Zena's going to transition. Okay. So what do you transition into from this position is the question. You like my little rhyme there?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I guess, just another base. We got a second base coming up. But Zena's going to be so far behind that I almost feel like Sharpened Edge could just start pushing across and just kind of win. Because, Zena could make Zerglings to time and kill all that.
An Oracle coming out is interesting because we've typically seen Oracle.
Shred.
It could, but there's screens.
Yeah,
so
we typically see Oracle what?
Typically see Oracles do jack shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So they tend to fail. Although Sharpened Edge is one of the few that kind of can make them work a little bit.
So the only bot that's actually gotten anything done with them, I think, is Sharkbot.
Yeah, Sharkbot.
I think he's the only one to actually have any modicum of success.
Yeah.
And actually kill something.
It's a weird way to do it. Like, it's a potential way to throw the game because it's an investment into it. Like, I mean, I don't think he's going to throw the game, but if you were to say, how can I let my opponent come back? I'm going to switch to Oracles is one of the ways that you can let them come back.
Yeah, again, this is one of those scenarios. If Sharpened Edge had just pushed across, Zena had one base of production.
Yeah.
Sharpened Edge could have just traded efficiently with that first group of lings, and then there just not enough lings could have popped out of one base to save.
Yeah.
So, again, one of those scenarios where maybe you should be pushing out a little sooner, putting some pressure on, testing the waters, something. But Sharpened Edge is going to play it safe and get a third base maybe by the looks of it. The way he's postured makes me think that. So I like the Void Rays, though.
The Void Rays a little better. Had he gone right to that, I don't know. I still don't. I think particularly, though, as Protoss, when you're ahead against somebody that just Ling flooded you, you Zealot fled them.
Okay, hold on. The Sharpened Edge canceled the third, or he was about to build it, but then moved the probe away.
Yeah, he's looking for somewhere to go. Yeah, I don't know. He may have thought like, okay, we're just gonna all in then.
Well, I wonder, like, something distracted that probe and made it go somewhere else.
He was scouting with the Oracle at the same time, so he may have like changed his mind.
I almost think it was an error where he was supposed to build the base then go back to working, but for whatever reason it got the go back to working command just before it built the base.
Yeah, possible.
To me, that's what it feels like, because otherwise Sharpened Edge would be moving out if it was something he saw on the other side of the map, like, oh, I don't want this anymore.
I do like what Zena's doing to attempt this comeback, which is not building an army, just trying to catch up on economy while building like the spores. Now he's gotta or she's gotta realize like what's coming and switch back to an economy, which it may be, or switch back to military, which may be too late, but
it's 59 army supply to 18. We're gonna need to see a swell of like 20 Hydralisks.
Yeah, and the fact that she just gets supply block means that's not gonna happen.
No, this is game over. Again, Sharpened Edge it was just too good of a start. Too far behind. Zena got too far behind with that Ling attack. Didn't get enough damage done. And
losing because of course, remember, it was a Ling and all his drones attack.
Game of numbers at that point.
Yeah.
Well, and a game of timing as well. The second base and third base for Zena were just so far behind.
Yeah.
It's almost like starting the game at different game states where your Sharpened Edge started with 2 bases and Zena started with 1. Protoss is going to always almost. Pretty much. Oh, good stuff, though. Sharpened Edge looking just as sharp as ever. Going to be able to get a first game win here.
And we'll see if there's another attempt at this, because again, the probe delaying things really skewed the result.
That changed everything, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right, where just the 20 or 15 seconds or so that it was chasing that probe around. That could have been moving towards the base. Boom, all of a sudden there is only one Zella.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you noticed at the start of the game, Zena threw up some stats there. And then
yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and what the percentages were. And it looked like the worker rush win rate was, I think it was like 70,
not those stats.
and 60. Yeah, not these ones. But but the ones, Zena will probably say them at the start of this X game. So let's take a look.
Yeah.
But I think it was like 70, and 62 or something like that. So it looked like it was a better than 50-50 that the worker rush won, and then was 0 and 8 in another build and whatever.
So it could change this time around, yeah.
So it could be another one, but it looked like the most successful one was the worker rush. And presuming that that's against like Sharpened Edge from the ladder, then you could definitely see that working in other cases where that distraction doesn't happen.
Totally. Okay, well, we're gonna get things ready. Get your vote in the poll if you haven't already. Let us know who you want to win. You know, we don't want to know who you think will win.
I know.
We want to know who you want.
We always
we
ask
play
who
favorites here.
Who would you like? Yeah,
we play favorites here at ProBots. Every bot is my favorite. I think every bot is awesome, and I just am so impressed that these bots do what they do. Because I remember, 4 seasons ago, 10 seasons ago, what these bots were like, and it's a different game. We're watching a different game.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different thing, and how they make this. Like we used to, you could still see.
Oh, they're gonna cut us off. Here we go. Game number 2. Let's go. Oh.
Team Zenas.
Okay. Zena. So,
Dr. Infuse.
Sharpened Edge. So it just totally took the worker rush off its list of possibilities.
Yeah, so maybe either map specific or like it's decided I'm only going to pick out of these. So yeah, the proxy, but it's a similar result here. You can see the proxy marauder is what it's picking. The proxy marauder is 16 and 14.
There's another bot that does this. One bot that really does it all the time.
Mind Me?
Was it Mind Me?
Somebody gives the percentages.
Oh no, it's Micro Machine.
Yeah, Micro Machine gives its win rate against you. I don't know if it tells you what it is for the various builds.
Oh, look at this Sharpened Edge with the pylon.
Counter. Yeah.
That's not. Oh, he is trying to cannon rush. He's got a forge down.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
And I will point out that the reason, of course, the options are different. This is a different race. Zena is a random bot.
Oh, that's right. That just didn't even register.
Just why I was wondering why the Terran has not 12 pulled.
My brain didn't even register that Zena was a different race.
That is why. So this one though, and it's gonna ruin potentially what the plan was, but a proxy marauder is the plan. So interesting with that going down. Will there be now enough like minerals and gas to make that go, or how much did that slow Sharpened Edge down?
It didn't slow. I don't think it slowed Zena down any more than it slowed Sharpened Edge down, because Sharpened Edge went and wasted money doing that.
He wasted money doing it, but then Zena chased him around with 16 workers.
Yeah.
So it's
well, it was 200 mineral cost from Sharpened Edge versus
I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I think you're right. I think it's in Zena's favor in the long run, especially with Sharpened Edge going for the Nexus now.
You don't want to go Nexus first against Proxy Marauder. No. So, well, he didn't go Nexus first. But,
not first. No, he's got the 2 gateways, but he doesn't have a cyber core
or cannon.
Yeah, or cannon or anything.
No defense.
He's
and he's concussive.
Yeah, and he's getting it. So yeah, if he holds out and walks in 3 Marauders, let's say, there's the cyber, snipes down this is also a huge Artosis pylon if he's got awareness of that.
Yeah, well, not many bots have that figured out to target down specific. Oh, but he does. Zena does.
Right away, knew that.
There. First thing it shoots. Oh, run. Concussive
position,
shell. It's not done yet.
Yeah, awkward position, but it's okay. So yeah, that goes down. If she targets this pylon, which is exactly it.
It's game over. Yeah.
This could be.
There's no units.
There's nothing even building. Yeah, there's nothing even building.
Well, it's waiting for the Cybercore to be finished.
Yeah.
Cybercore's going to finish, and now you can't build anything.
Yeah.
GGG, we're getting our first ace match of the night, Endersword.
We are indeed.
Oh ho ho! Zena with the random shenanigans. I love it when we get at least one random bot in the tournament. It really does add just that wild card unpredictability. You don't know what they're gonna do, and that's what makes this fun for me. The bots, watching the bots.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun because of that unpredictability. You know, they're not going to do the right thing all the time or the sensical thing. They're just going to do what they were told to do. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not here to question or reanalyze. Some of them can analyze and change their behavior, but yeah, no, that's gonna be game 2. All right, so game number 3. I guess it kind of comes down.
Well, it's random.
Halfway
so
down to what race.
We don't know the matchup.
Gets.
Yeah.
So we don't know the matchup. So it's going to come down to that. But then it's also going to come down to Sharpened Edges built a little bit. I think Zena seems to really favor the early aggression. So whatever race Zena gets, I think we're going to see an early attack.
Yeah.
Worker Rush, Proxy Marauder. If Protoss, maybe a Cannon Rush. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is going to be it. This is going to be our final game of the night, everybody. Our first ace match of the season here. At least we got one tonight. Always makes me happy. It should be a good one. And winner of this is going to go on to face Ketro in that upper portion of bracket of Group B. And then the loser will face Dominion Dog in the lower portion of Group B. So again, we're doing Groups A and B tonight, the first parts. Next week, we'll do the first parts of Groups C and D. And then the following week, we're going to come back up to the lower brackets and start eliminating bots. So for the first 2 weeks, no eliminations. Everyone's safe. Week 3 is when we start tossing those bots in the scrap pile.
That's trouble time.
So that is trouble time. And it's inevitable, though. It's got to happen. You know, only one bot will remain or will emerge victorious from the season. I lost my timer, so I don't know if we're ready to go. But
I don't see any other, but we may be.
Go ahead and say we're ready to go.
It's rubber match time.
It's rubber match time, baby. Game 3. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Nope, they're not ready. Did we lose did our production die?
Maybe everyone's gone.
They just up and left. It's just us now, Undersword.
In the world.
Maybe the bots revolted and killed everybody while we're sitting here. That was all their plan. They knew we were the only 2 that could stop them.
It happened.
So they kept us busy and distracted.
They distracted us with the game 3.
These games. And now you're all dead. And I'm talking to nobody because you all been taken over by the robots. Apparently.
That's it.
That'll happen.
Is this the point I start screaming error?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. Somebody's there. Oh, God. The robot's here. Game is ready. All right.
Let's go then. Let's go.
Game 3.
Team Zenas.
Zena.
Dr. Infuse.
Sharpened Edge. All right. Sharpened Edge. Don't play with him. He's sharp.
He is.
I just cut my, about a month ago, I cut the tip of my thumb off with it.
Yeah.
I had just sharpened my knives, actually. So, you know, thankfully, I guess.
So it's premeditated.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. But no, you got to be careful with those sharpened edges, man. Okay, what is he doing this time? 12th pool. So we're not getting a super early aggression. I mean, you know, it's early aggression, but it's not worker rush early aggression.
Well, this is what he said last time, though, and he did bring the workers with him.
Oh, was that? Oh, no, I thought he said worker rush the first time.
I don't know. I thought it's
oh, is it a 12 pool worker rush?
Yeah, it could be
It's
wrong.
just a 12 pool worker rush. Yeah,
I think so.
I thought it said Worker Rush the first time. Maybe I'm making things up now. All right, well, here comes the probe right on cue to delay. Oh, we got 8 circles. And there we go. So it begins, and man, that probe is in the perfect spot to pull every unit as far back into the base pretty much as possible here. Oh, he weaves through the minerals. Can he get another loop? Nope, does go down.
Luckily he was near the exit. Had he pulled him away, so it didn't slow him as badly. But that's still
one loop around the base. That was what,
like
10
12
seconds?
Yeah, like something like
seconds,
that. That and now up a ramp, maybe a little harder, but then this
is a bigger
gap. It's a bigger but he's got a quicker cyber core, and he has not started to zealot. So very different situation. And he's going stalker first, so this could work.
And a robo.
Yeah, could work here. We get 2 more.
I think this is going to work. I think
it will too, especially with his awareness too that pylons matter. If he goes
this
for the
stalker gets out, I actually think the stalker can micro and save the day.
Look, but he's not. The probe micros.
The probes are dying. Come on, stalker. Okay, stalker's out. Okay.
I think it's too much.
I don't know what he's doing. Okay.
I think it's too much.
As long as the Zerglings
he'll get a second stalker.
Oh no!
Surrounded.
Oh, he leaves the stalker alone.
I think he should have kept going there.
You absolutely should have.
But he is going to get. If he gets all the probes, so kill the last probe. I think that's it.
Well, there's one in production.
He can make one more too.
He can make. Okay, he can make one more.
And there's a couple lings coming, like 6 or 8.
Stalkers, they're gonna save it. Oh, this was close.
No, they're almost there. There's the lings.
He's gonna get one. Okay, more Zerglings actually come in.
Yeah. And
oh my God, that stalker didn't die. You just gotta commit.
There's no
just commit.
Yeah,
they're not committing.
If he kills last probe, it's over. It's over.
Oh, Zerglings, go! Just attack.
No, it doesn't matter now because there's no probes.
Okay, now they attack.
Yeah.
Not enough
no probes, no minerals. Yep. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, unless this one stalker can win the game, which,
possible.
In theory, it could go across in micro.
Yeah.
But
he's gonna live.
If it doesn't die, we're gonna have a long game. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of glad it died because if it didn't die, we'd have to sit here and wait for Zena to rebuild for like 20 minutes or not.
Yeah. But now we're gonna wait for this one ling.
Now we gotta wait for this one ling to kill everything. Yeah. But it will be faster than waiting for the stalker just sitting here with no damage. Zergling in overdrive. Okay, I thought Sharpened Edge was going to take this. I honestly did. So a little, at least in my mind, a little bit of an upset. Zena,
some cheesiness.
In her second season, is going to move on.
It was
from round 1 here.
Yeah, it was definitely damn close. I would say, had the pool not been positioned where it was behind the mineral line and the probe went around the long way, then he probably would have won.
Yeah, if he had bought just a few more seconds, had that stalker been out 3-4 seconds sooner, not as many probes would have died. Yeah. Stalkers would have stabilized sooner. There would have been a probe left alive. Yeah, that was about as close as you can get for a ProBots game. For a ProBots series, that whole series was just back and forth, very close. So awesome stuff. Great way to finish the night off here. And a great first day. I am so impressed so far by what I'm seeing. I am just so excited for the season now. I was already excited, but now I'm super excited. Yeah, because these bots are looking awesome.
Definitely a good one. It's always fun to have a good random bot. That's
that just makes it fun.
Yeah.
And is he the only? I think he's the only one. Yep, only the one random bot this time around.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's fine. Man, that's cool. We have so many. I'm looking at all the coding languages. We've got the Haskell, Go, Rust, Java, Python, C#, C++,
and Zig.
That's awesome. This is just think, weren't they all in? Well, they've all just been in Python.
Almost everything in Python to begin with. Yeah,
except for Micro Machine, he was always C++. I think. But awesome stuff. Let's take a look at the brackets that we can for today here and see how things are progressing. Don't forget, in week 5 or something, when our round of 8 starts, we're going to be doing the fantasy bracket, the prediction brackets, for all of you lovely audience members to partake in with us. So make sure you check out the challenge page and keep up to date with that as these weeks go on. 7 weeks will be the length of this season, and then that 8th week will be our grand finals. So I guess 8 weeks will be the length of the season.
Yeah.
But 7 weeks of games. 8th week will be the grand finals. It's gonna be awesome. Here's Group A.
And our humans matchup always.
And the humans, versus the humans. Yeah, start getting ready, everybody. Start practicing against some of last season's bots, because we're gonna have more bots ready to fight against this season. They're going to be even better, even stronger. So get your practice in while you can, because we're getting closer to that. Yeah, there was Group B that you just saw. And then next week, we're going to be diving into Group C and D. Do we want to take a quick look at that?
Take a look. Yep. So Sharkbot and Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin was,
nice.
A relatively new one.
Second or third season as well,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Kaninana, another relatively new
Same
one.
thing.
And Smooth Brain, I think then this is the first season. Is Smooth Brain by an author we've seen before?
Nope. New author, new
brand
bot.
new?
Osavi bot. Or I think. Or no, that's
Yeah.
Osavi.
Yeah.
Smooth Brain is by. Oh, my brain just stopped. I've got a smooth brain right now.
Yeah, happens.
I just did the intros. Like, you think I'd remember, but that's fine. Here's Group D: Micro Machine, Octopus, Zozo, and there's Osavi bot. So again, a couple new bot. Octopus new. Osavi is new.
In our notes, it's empty, so I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, wait, I've got it. I got it right here. Smooth Brain. Yeah, Mir Meko Man, I think it's pronounced.
Nice.
If that's wrong, Mir Meko Man, if that is your name and I'm saying it wrong, let us know and we'll fix your bot intro. Because that's how I pronounced it, was Mir Meko Man.
Nice.
I just do the best I can with what I got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the night, for the games. Thank you all again for being here. This has been so much fun. I am so excited for next week's games. Same time, same place, right here on our awesome YouTube channel. What is our YouTube channel called? ProBots. Just ProBots.
Just ProBots.
Straight up ProBots. Not ESChan ProBots. Not ESChan. Simplified. Just come back to ProBots. Tell your friends about ProBots.
Yeah.
Get them in here. It's going to be great fun. Endersword, what are you gonna go do? Go play some video games? Something?
I think so. I think I might.
I've been
play
playing
video
some
games.
Yeah, I've been playing some Starship Troopers Terran Command.
Yeah, you showed me that. It looks like a fun game. I may
really
pick it up. I'm probably on the last day or two of Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, nice.
Final Fantasy. It's a great movie. It's not a. I think over half the time that I've been playing the game, the controller's not been in my hands.
Really?
There's so I've never seen so many cutscenes in my life. Like it's at least like a 10-hour long movie if you paste the cutscenes together.
If you're into that kind of thing, it's good. All right, yeah, check out our GitHub. We have a GitHub as well for new bot authors. Go download some templates, make a bot, get it on the ladder, get in ProBots, all in that order. And this season, we have four or five new bots in this season alone. So it's totally possible for you to get a bot and make it into ProBots and have fun on the ladder. Check out PostBots tomorrow night. Friday night, we'll be doing that live, or you can check out the bot if you are in the Crown Club. Is the Crown Club still a thing? Or we?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, yeah. So Crown Club is still a thing. But yeah, do check out our website. Used to be on the page there. ProBotsAI.com. And until then, we will see you all next week, same time, same place here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ProBots, the YouTube channel. And we'll see more bots having a lot of fun. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.